Hey, do you want to buy some cows? We got all kinds. And apparently, they're very nice to the eye, according to our delightful narrator, who really seems to like the lady cows. Yeah, very eye appealing. Real quick before we get started, I want to thank some folks. Thank you, Funk Uncle, for the sub. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you, Krungo, for the 1 month sub as well. Thank you so very much. And Halibut Barn with the Prime sub. Thank you so much for those before the show. Yeah, we've got emotes now. I made some emotes. You can use them. It does feature Doug crying. I mean, the baby's crying because of Doug. There is crying involved, and Doug is involved. But yeah, there you go. That's the Doug we're talking about. So on today's show, I thought I'd show off more of Interactive Entertainment 01 for like about an hour, or at least till we get through the reviews. Ooh, we've got a... I have new alerts. Do you like it? That's actually one of the rare ones. Congrats. Thank you, Koryun, for the sub. So yeah, we're going to be going through Interactive Entertainment for an hour, and then after that, I'm going to show off Microsoft Extreme Volume 01 from fall 1997, which is basically a customer preview type show. I know it's broadcast in theaters. It may have been broadcast by satellite. I'm not sure, but we'll go into it when it's time for that. So let's get started with Interactive Entertainment 01. Yeah, I made a lot of alerts, and they're all very normal, so yeah. Do you like Doonesbury still? He's still here. He's still here, and he's judging you. Computer. Yeah. Thank you, Ignorant Soldier, for the 100 bits. Oh, I didn't do the little alert it was supposed to do. I could have sworn I had one for that. That's okay, but thank you. Hold on. There we go. Now we can hear it. Loud on my end. Let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough, folks. And let's get started with... Hold on. The jazz is going real good here. I'm just going to let it go. Yeah. Reviews. Let's start off with Alien Breed.
Alien Breed is a rarity in today's PC game market. It's cheap, doesn't take up too much space on your hard drive, and is fun to play, something which can't be said about too many of the games found on today's budget rack. If you have about $15, VGA, and 2.2 megs free on your hard drive, you're ready to do business. A sound card and joystick are recommended, but you can...
I like the lens flare on his tooth.
Once you leave the safety of your starting position, the
aliens this is just that one game.
Don't waste any time in seeking you out. While not smart, the aliens are infinite in number and move about at a alarming
what
speed.
is this game called?
Unfortunately, if 2 or more aliens find their way onto the screen, the game slows down noticeably.
Welcome 68K Heart. We are watching Interactive Entertainment 01.
As you explore each level, you will find objects to collect that will help you survive the onslaught of ugly critters that stand between you and success. Large numbers of keys will allow you to open doors and gain access to high security areas. Ammo clips are lifesavers.
I like the circles. It's like a YouTube thumbnail.
Defenseless with an empty gun. First aid kits prolong your life by patching the holes the aliens chew in your puny hide. Money can also be found and used at a later point.
Money can also be found and used.
The game is simply to reach the deck lift that will take you to the next level. To do this, you will need to visit most every area on the level to collect enough keys, cash, and ammo to ensure your safety.
Okay.
The game allows you to teleport to the level of your choice, with passcodes given after each level is completed. But continuing in this way won't save the possessions you acquire. And depending on where you left off, this can make the game very hard to complete if more than one sitting is required. Once you've blown all 4 power domes, the destruct sequence for the level is triggered. You now have to make your way back to the deck lift and escape to level
power
3
domes.
Before things go boom. The red emergency lighting isn't the best navigational beacon in the world, and you'll find that aliens can get right up in your face before you even notice them. The feel of this sequence is much like the race to the escape pod in the film.
Thank you, no problems for the sub. I appreciate it.
Scattered around each level are Intex computer terminals. Logging onto a terminal allows you access to lots of helpful information and services. Radar readouts of the current level and structural information help you identify and deal with the objects you will encounter. These terminals are also where you type in the access codes to start off in a different level. Fortunately, there's one very close to the game's starting point. This radar screen, accessible from any in-text terminal, is a necessary tool for navigating the labyrinth levels of Alien Breed. Buying a remote location scanner will give you access to
I think I will do an emote with the lady,
of the information
with
degrades
the
as
bars
you
coming
move
down on the
farther into
lady, because
terminal.
it's so
On
good.
some levels,
I
a
love
scanner
her.
can make the difference between life and death. Once you get past the first few levels, a new enemy awaits you. These little facehuggers are small and extremely speedy, making them a serious threat to your
One thing I love about Amiga is how much the Amiga is just like, fuck it, we're alien now, or aliens, we're H.R. Giger, and you can't stop us.
These doors are closed by shooting.
I know, like Sega and a bunch of other companies did the same thing, but I respect it.
For once a fire door is closed, you'll never be able to open it again. This can be an especially big problem in two-player simultaneous games, as teammates can become separated by an errant shot in the vicinity of a fire door. Some levels contain this little device, called a refuge iris. These things are designed for dumping waste into the cold void of space. Needless to say, they don't discriminate between galactic garbage and space marines, so watch your step. These irises are conveniently placed in front of doors you need to get through.
No!
And holding aliens at bay while timing a walk across a closed iris is interesting. In higher levels, you'll be confronted with a new kind of alien. These are much faster than their relatives and are a little smarter about loitering in front of your gun barrel. They tend to move diagonally towards you, making them harder to kill. With a number of these guys closing in on you from different sides, things can get claustrophobic pretty quickly. It's common in Alien Breed to find laser doors like this one. Laser doors only allow you to move through them in one direction.
Laser doors. That old conundrum.
These doors can be really annoying when you run from one end of the level to the other just to have your progress halted by a laser door that won't allow you to pass. Remember how handy I said these?
Yeah, Rams, there's something about the casual feel of these that I really enjoy, because it does feel much more contemporary.
But sometimes the best way to relax is to blow something to pieces. The industry doesn't have many decent budget-priced games, and it's nice to find one once in a while. You won't have to wait around an hour while the game installs to your hard drive, and you won't have to spend all afternoon reading a poorly written manual. What you will get is a large amount of play value for the dollar. So if you like to shoot at things, give Alien Breed a try.
Okay, and let's real quick check out the
is a rarity.
Second opinion.
It's a good thing this game only costs $20. The controls are extremely weak, and I found myself accidentally opening doors that I didn't wish to enter, wasting keys.
Ian did not like it.
Down big time when you have more than 3 or 4 characters on the screen.
Okay. Let's see the pros.
Alien Breed is an inexpensive game. It doesn't tax your computer and requires just over 2 megs of hard drive space. It's a nicely done shooter with good graphics and a foreboding feel. The option to play simultaneously with a second person is a welcome addition.
And the cons?
The copy protection sheet is a real eye strainer. The process for continuing your game after you die is very primitive, letting you return to the last area, but without the supplies needed to complete it. The game also tends to slow down somewhat when 3 or more characters are on screen.
Yeah, that's not good. What should we also try? Alien Syndrome. That's the game I was thinking of. And also Gauntlet. Folks, let's play Gauntlet.
Do you have what it takes?
Oh, it's the ad. That scared the crap out of me.
Check out Corridor 7, the hot new action thriller from Capstone, and find out. It's you and
Capstone?
this fully playable demo located under Install Demos off the main menu. You've seen his games, you've played out his fantasies, now listen to what he has to say.
I have not played out his
Lord
fantasies,
British
thank you.
IE. Check it out under the Features section in the main menu, or the Interactive Interviews section
Yeah,
in the Table of
Capstone.
Contents.
Welcome,
And
Spooky.
now, back to IE.
Go to Alone in the Dark. 2.
Like its predecessor, Alone in the Dark 2 is a polygon-based adventure game which allows you to move freely throughout its environment. French developers Infogram have clearly adopted an attitude of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There are no earth-shattering
I
changes
talk
to the
like that.
interface or gameplay in this long-anticipated sequel.
Ooh,
Just
we
everything
hit the
first one
hype
had to
train,
offer,
everybody.
and
Thank
plenty
you
of
so
it.
much for the support.
One dislikable element which returns in quantity is combat. Many gamers complained about how varying camera angles made fighting impossible in the first game, and in that respect, 2 is little better than 1. It's sometimes necessary to fight a creature you can't even see on the screen, and aiming is largely a matter of trial and error, forcing you to waste precious ammunition
It's
to draw
Santa's
feed on
about to
attacking foes.
destroy a
The
jester.
excessive
I
amount
like
of
it.
fighting is mitigated somewhat by the switch to a different lead character later in the game. But there are still way too many guns here, especially in the enemy's hands. I mean, really, aren't evil nasties from beyond supposed to, bite your face off or something?
Yeah, why
Ironically,
doesn't
it's those
Santa
same
bite my
camera angle
face?
changes that provide Alone in the Dark 2 with its greatest asset, its tone. There are very few games out there that deal with pulp-style horror, and a precious handful that do it well. The Alone in the Dark games, with their delightfully animated polygon characters and grungy bitmapped rooms and cool cinematography, absolutely ooze atmosphere. I just wish the designers had concentrated more on the excellent plot than the tedious combat. In general, the game looks way better than the first. The polygon graphics are faster and cleaner, and facial expressions, especially during some cutscenes, are a marked improvement over Alone 1. The bitmapped backgrounds are also a step up, doing an excellent job of depicting
Okay, that does
Beverly
look
Hill's
cool.
kitchen in exquisite detail. The painted cutscenes are so good I almost wish the entire game had been rendered in this fashion. They make the polygon graphics look shabby by comparison.
They do.
Certain aspects of controlling the lead character were a challenge in the first
That
game.
Tommy gun does
These
not look
have been
good. I'm
cleaned up in the
sorry.
sequel. For instance, running is much easier. The number of actions
Hey,
your
Hexagon
character
Witch,
can perform
welcome.
has been reduced as well, making it easier to manipulate the playing environment and eliminating those irritating jumping puzzles we all hated so much. Alone 2 has another major improvement in the game engine. It gets rid of many items once they're properly used. This makes figuring out which items belong to which puzzle easier and eliminates both inventory juggling and the annoying clutter caused by dropping used objects. Infogram
He
did
was
include one
honking on
feature which should earn
Popo.
them the Boot to the Head award. The music in 1 was moody and atmospheric, enhancing the tone of the adventure. In 2, while the music is good quality throughout, there are a few pieces which are highly unsuited to the plot. 2's overall feel suffers as a result, and with any luck, we'll see some new music with the release of the CD-ROM version. Okay, you may ask, all of these gripes aside, what's the bottom line on gameplay? Well, it can't be faulted in that department, except for the overwhelming amount of combat in the first part of the game. Alone in the Dark 2 features gameplay which is solid and interesting. The puzzles are nothing on 1, but 2 makes up for this by being easily twice as large. As in Alone in the Dark 1, you must unravel the mysteries concealed within a rotting ancient mansion. Unlike the first game,
Yeah, the
you
gun
don't get
does
a
look
choice
like
of
tin
lead characters
cans.
this
I
time.
love it.
Edward Carnby, the detective from Alone in the Dark 1, is back, and it's up to him to save an innocent girl from the spawn of hell who kidnapped her. Young Grace is being held captive in Hell's Kitchen, which has been mysteriously transformed from a neighborhood in New York, surprise, to a decaying mansion in California. After he gets a note from his friend Stryker, who is
I'm gonna say it. That mansion is way too close to the edge of that cliff.
Carnby decides to set
Imagine,
out on his
like,
own
driving
to
your
rescue
car
her.
up to
What a
the
guy.
hill and
In
it
the
just,
process, Carnby must blast
you're
his
looking at
way
your
into
text
Hell's
messages
Kitchen,
and you see one from,
negotiate a
oh my God,
complicated
hold
hedge
on.
maze while attempting not to
I
be
forgot he
perforated by
exploded. I
Tommy
should
gun
be
toting
paying attention to
thugs,
this
sneak
review.
into the house itself through a secret passage in the
I like
basement,
her.
and of course, eliminate an entire cabal of evil pirates dabbling in the black arts. What do I mean by eliminate? Well, he ain't selling Amway products, that's for sure. On rare occasions, Carnby will be able to shoot back, but ammunition is pretty hard to come by. As always, the best way to kill your opponents is to use your head. Many fights can be avoided
I
or
think the best way to
delayed,
kill
and it
your
goes without
opponents is with a
saying
gun,
that they should be.
usually.
Some of the non-combat puzzles are pretty good. However, these too can be quite a headache. If you aren't exactly in the right place to perform certain actions, they will fail even if you're using the correct object. If you think you know the right thing to do, be sure and try it from several different positions before
Thank you,
giving
Spooky
up.
Biscuits,
As is
for the
traditional,
follow.
When you fail and die, you are treated to an amusing cutscene of Carnby dying grotesquely. This is him being pitched out a nasty doorway by a burly guard, and this is Carnby plummeting to his final swim in the Pacific. With Alone in the Dark 2, gamers expected an ambitious effort, and while it's not a failure, it's not the second coming it's hailed as. It still delivers several hours of entertaining gameplay and holds its own against other adventure games on the market. Those who are entranced with the original will be equally entranced by this one. Now, if only Infogrames would leave the guns out of the next one.
You know, I think they should put in more guns, but that's
Like
just
it's
me. Let's check the second
I
opinion.
hated the first Alone in the Dark because of its poor combat, absent plot, and its totally foolish interpretation of H.P. Lovecraft's work. There are only two good things I can say about its sequel. Graphics continue to be top-notch, and iMotion has stopped picking on Lovecraft. This game suffers from the weaknesses of its predecessor.
This guy's a
especially
hater.
where
I
combat
respect
is
it.
concerned. If you like the first one, go for it. If not, save your money.
One dislike.
Let's
The
pros.
bitmapped backgrounds are a definite step up from Alone in the Dark 1, and the polygon engine is cleaner and a bit faster. The game is longer than its predecessor, and the puzzles, while not especially challenging, are more plentiful.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Oh, I was
Dynamics
gonna
has
look
long
at the
been a maker
cons,
of
you
great games.
dopes.
One of their latest creations, Front Page Sports Baseball, is on its way. For a sneak preview, select features. in the main
I don't know
menu
how I
or
avoided
preview
all the
digital
unavoidable
content.
ads when I was streaming this previously.
Magic Candle was one of the best role-playing games of its time. It has a fantastic plot and gameplay that will make you think you're playing a real pencil and paper game on your computer. Look in the main menu under Install Demos for the complete game, or check out our article under the Features section in the main menu.
We now return you to the show.
The excessive
Anyways, the cons.
guns. I never read a Lovecraft story where a gun did the protagonist a damn bit of good, and now I know why. The excessive amount of combat in Alone in the Dark 2 contributes absolutely zero towards its creepy atmosphere.
Okay.
Ironically,
And what else should we try? The original Alone in the Dark and a Bioforge. Got it. All right, what do they say about Barkley Shut Up and Jam?
Sport Accolade's new Barkley Shut Up and Jam tries hard to capture the attitude of NBA superstar Charles Barkley. Unfortunately, the game itself falls short, an unforgivable crime when it comes to playing hoop. While the designers have come up with some entertaining graphics, they aren't enough to overcome the fact that the game itself is boring. Even the round mound of rebound would have to admit there's a lot more to playing basketball than dunking the ball. However, once you spend a little time on this game, it becomes a lengthy series of endless jams. Shut Up and Jam allows one player to play against the computer, 2 players to compete against each other or the computer, and 3 or 4 player options that allow 2-man teams. There are 16 different players available, and each one has a separate rating in 6 different categories: shooting 2s, shooting 3s, dunks, rebounding, steals, and speed. Single games, 5 or 7 game series, or full tournaments are the playing options. When you're in the one-player mode against the computer, one of the game's biggest flaws emerges. You have control of your own player, but the computer remains in control of your teammate even after you pass him the ball. You can have your teammate pass back to you, but otherwise, you just sit and hope the computer makes the right decision. The game doesn't allow you to choose an easy, average, or difficult level when you play the computer, which is another major problem. Once you've figured out that your opponents can't stop your dunks and you can't stop theirs, the game becomes very boring very quickly. Having trashed the competition element of Shut Up and Jam, it would be unfair not to note that the game's graphics are strong. You can select 8 different courts to play on, from a Watts schoolyard to the Brooklyn ghetto, and each of the players has a distinctive look, including the trademark bald head of Sir Charles himself. Also, each player has his own super dunk. A couple of the jams feature moves normally seen only at a gymnastics meet. You can use the same command for a super dunk to elevate higher on jump shots, but it doesn't make much sense to go that way, since a basket is automatic on a dunk. The effort put into the graphics gives the game an appealing look, but it's not enough to hide the fact that it's not a lot of fun to play.
Also,
Charles
the
Barkley
alert
may be
should
one
be
of the
fixed
best
now,
players in
so
the
you should be able to
NBA,
get more.
but his Shut Up and Jam is an
They should be able to show things for
extremely weak
follows,
effort
hopefully.
to capitalize on one of pro basketball's biggest stars.
But let's see what the pros are.
A lot of work went into designing the appearance of this game, and it shows. The courts the characters play on, including Watts and Brooklyn, are visually arresting. Each player also has a distinctive look, and the gyrations involved in the various slam dunks
The
are
gyrations!
as the overall graphics package makes Shut Up and Jam a lot of fun to watch. Sport
What's the second opinion?
Well, I'll sum it up for you in 3 words. This game sucks. I can't say it any plainer than that. Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam is just another NBA Jam clone that falls about 2 miles short. If I were Charles Barkley, I'd be ashamed to let my name be put on such a bogus product. 2 thumbs down.
I didn't like it.
If Charles Barkley actually tried to play this way in the NBA, he would have been back home in Alabama before the end of his first pro training camp. The game includes ratings for steals, speed, and shooting, among other elements, but each game ends up the same. Everybody dunks. It's fun for a little while, but the slam and jam action grows old quickly.
Fair enough. The slam and jam action just grows old. You'd think slamming and jamming wouldn't grow old, but what do I
If you
know?
liked F-Zero, but you're looking for a little more spunk and a lot more speed, then Battle Cars is definitely the game for you. The basic idea is this. You race in what's called a cross-country race to earn money so that
Wow,
you
this
can
looks like if
upgrade your
F-Zero
car.
sucked.
Then you race the boss of the level. If you win,
Thank you,
go to
SingTech, for the
If
sub.
you lose, you repeat the level. It's pretty simple. Gameplay
Appreciate
is
that.
very,
Thank
very
you.
fast. This is easily the fastest driving game I've ever seen. Corners are a total bitch to navigate when you first start out, but with a little practice, one can master cornering in no time.
Cursing.
Overall, I thought that Battle Cars was done well, with lots of fast-paced action. The addition of weapons added quite a bit to the game, and the multiplayer tournament mode was a nice touch. Besides the lack of replayability, this game was very good.
Yeah, this game
F-Zero.
does look way slower than F-Zero. Let's see what the second opinion is.
I like Battle Cars. It's definitely the fastest racer I've seen for SNES, and the 2-player mode is cool.
Sines.
However, coming from the PC side of things, it just doesn't hold a candle to the least PC racing game out there. Maybe we'll see some serious racing games for Project Reality.
Hey, y'all remember Project Reality?
The basic idea is this. Battle Cars graphics are decent and on par with the norm. The speed of this game is great. The tournament mode is a nice touch, and even the control is good once you figure out the cornering.
What are the cons?
I don't like the boss racing system. I'd rather
Okay.
be in a real race where you can have first, second, and third places. The weapons are nice, but they need more variety. And last but not least, the replay value just isn't there. This game can get old pretty fast.
Okay, so yeah, let's go to the rest of the reviews. No!
From the creators
That's
of
Theme
Populous
Park.
comes Theme Park. If you've ever wanted to manage an amusement
How
park,
dare
this
Interactive
is your
Entertainment
chance.
make me dislike
Check out
Theme
the demo
Park?
under Install Demos at the main menu. Doom has been this year's biggest game by far. You've heard the gruesome
Y'all
stories
hear about
and you've read
Doom?
the long articles. Now check it out for yourself with the Doom 1.2 shareware version in the main menu under Install Demos.
And now, back to the action.
Buzz Aldrin's Race. I've never
Good
heard
news
of this.
for those of you who can't balance your checkbook. You may be overqualified for Interplay's CD-ROM release of Buzz Aldrin's Race into Space, which gives you the chance to mangle the budget of a major government agency as you vie with the Russians to become the first country to land a man on the moon. This is not a game for the mathematically challenged. While the
Yeah, it's a
actual
pink
launches
tuber
are the
because I'm
most
made out of
entertaining part of this release,
PNGs, baby.
you can't get to that point until you engage in some serious yuppie-type number crunching, as you manage
Ooh,
all aspects
yuppie
of the
number
US space program.
crunching.
And unlike your personal finances, where a bounced check leads only to embarrassment, people will blow up if you make poor choices in
Oh.
this game.
Oh, that's
in other
funny.
Words, if the phrase
I mean,
"race
it's not
into
that
space"
funny,
makes you
but
think of hot graphics and
a little
killer
funny.
game action, don't even bother with this release. You don't play this game, you manage it. There's some interesting historical space footage in this package, but if you're a Generation X baby who wants and needs nonstop entertainment in your games, Buzz is pretty boring. It's important to read the manual, unfortunately, since it's not clear from simply playing the game that many of your choices require time to execute. And, like NASA, each turn represents 6 months, and many of your personnel and launch decisions take more than one turn, making it extremely important
Yeah,
to
but
read the
fact-
instructions before you start playing. It all starts in the spring of 1957 when you're given your initial budget. It's relatively simple at the beginning since you have no choice but to dump all of your money into research and development as you start from scratch. However, as time marches on, the decisions you make become more complicated, particularly as pressure increases from both internal and external sources. While you're building your space agency, you'll have to deal with political considerations.
Interactive Entertainment as background. It was actually a multimedia exclusive magazine that ran from 1994 to 1996. I think I need to check that until it was turned into the cover magazine for another company. But it's a magazine, actually. It's not an encyclopedia. It's very interesting.
When approving the annual budget. However, if you blow up a rocket, or 2 or 7, you'll discover just how lonely life can be at the top. Once you get a few years into this game, you'll be busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. Among the many things you must juggle at Cape Canaveral...
I'm sorry, I have a lot of questions about that metaphor.
An astronaut complex with a complete training facility.
You know, I finished my can of soda, and I need it back. I need another can of soda for this. This is...
All of these divisions are necessary because of the countless demands on your budget. Present launches, future launches, research and development,
whatever.
And recruiting. Of course, while you're trying to keep your head above
I have never heard about the
Russian
one-legged man in
opponent
an
grows about his
ass-kicking
successes
contest.
And coincidentally neglects to mention any failures. News of Russian success is aggravated by the length of time it takes for you to get through the Russian announcements. Despite being a branch of the American government, you don't have the luxury of covering up your mistakes, unlike the real NASA. Each of your turns begins with a news broadcast anchored by a character
anti-NASA out of nowhere.
A guy who used to be the most trusted newscaster in the country. This is also where you find out if the CIA has any useful information to pass along about the Soviets. When you first start playing this game, it's a good idea to keep something handy for jotting down notes. Future planning is vital if you want to do well, and it's easy to lose track of what you did last turn. The designers could have made this a little easier by including an easily accessible planning menu to let you know where you stand in your flight schedules and astronaut training. All of the flight planning needed for each flight is a pain in the buttski, but a successful mission makes it all worthwhile. Once you're in the launch mode, be sure and choose the Continue option instead of Full Play. That allows you a full view of Interplay's mission control simulation, which includes some good-looking videos, still shots, and graphs that keep you informed of
Good-looking
flight progress.
videos. That's
And
what you like to hear in the multimedia
Your
world.
mission was a failure. You're informed of the exact nature of the problem that ruined the launch. Unfortunately, for your peace of mind, it doesn't offer a solution, easy or otherwise, although it does show your multi-million-dollar toy bursting into a lovely ball of flame. It all ends when you, or your crafty communist counterpart, finally...
What if I don't want to
to
see myself explode? Could I avoid that?
While the loser starts working on a different approach and presumably a model airplane for his next space mission. This isn't a game that demands fast reflexes, but it's interesting enough if you like thinking strategy games. Put it this way, unless you hail from a planet populated by accountants, Interplay's CD-ROM release of Buzz Aldrin's Race into Space isn't going to take you where no man has gone before.
Let's see the pros and
Good
cons.
news.
Actually, see the second opinion.
Definitely a sleeper of a sim game. There's more money management and
A
competitive
sleeper!
strategy in Buzz than SimCity and Rags to Riches combined. If you happen to be a fan of American space history, this is the game for you. If you aren't a fan, the replay value is just a bit less, but Buzz is still worth the bucks.
Pros.
Since there's an element of risk involved in being an astronaut, mission control is probably the best place to be during the launch of a spaceship. That's definitely the case with Interplay's CD-ROM release of Buzz Aldrin's Race into Space, which uses a great mix of video, still shots, and graphs in its mission control mode to keep you on the edge of your seat as you attempt a spaceflight.
And the cons?
Buzz can be extremely slow, especially when you're forced to sit through announcements of successful missions by your Russian counterparts. You can also make this portion go a little faster with the escape key, but it would be much easier if you could skip it entirely.
Okay, and what else should we try? Civilization Detroit SimCity 2000. Got it.
Under a Killing Moon, Access Software's latest creation is nearly here. With full motion, real actors, and a plot that would stump even the best armchair sleuths, Under a Killing Moon looks like their best game yet. Check out our preview in this episode under Features in the main menu, or under Previews in the table of contents. Doom has been this year's
Yo,
biggest game.
have
by
you heard
far.
of this Doom?
You've read the gruesome stories and you've read the long articles. Now check it out for yourself.
People are
with the
discussing
Doom
this
1.2
Doom more and
shareware version
more.
in the main menu under Install Demos.
And now, back to the action.
Okay. Dragon Sphere. Certainly this is good.
With its exotic locales and fascinating characters, Dragonsphere makes it clear that Microprose is shooting to break the mold from which most fantasy games are cast. What's surprising, however, is just how successful they've been. Right from the outset, the game has a lot going for it. The interface is elegant, easy to use, and versatile. Using only the mouse, you can construct sentences from palettes of verbs and objects on the screen. Shortcuts using the right mouse button make it even more flexible. Fans of LucasArts scum games will feel right at home here. If you're the anal
He really
retentive type
accentuated
who
the
needs
word
to have
scum. I
complete
like
control
that.
over a game, you won't be disappointed. Dragonsphere lets you control sound effects and music and set graphics display options all from the same pop-up menu. It
Room
even
fade
allows
is
you to
medium.
select one of 2 difficulty levels when beginning a new game. A feature I sure wish had been available in some other games.
Thank you,
I've
Fire
never
Mountain, for the
had.
follow. Appreciate
The saving
that.
and restoring of games is nifty indeed. Like many recent Microprose releases, not only can you save a game at any point, when you exit a game, you can quickly get back to where you left by selecting Resume Game from the main menu. This will usually work even when the game crashes. This is an idea that is long overdue. Bravo, Microprose! The content of the story is
Wow.
and original.
Wow,
It's
look at that
difficult to
guy.
explain exactly why without giving away the fantastic plot twist. But suffice to say that if you manage to kill the game's big foozle, you've still got a long way to go. The races populating the land of Kalahak are also a breath of fresh air.
Hey, Troff,
Microprose has
welcome.
truly done gamers justice by avoiding the tiresome elves, dwarves, and small people not called hobbits for copyright reasons so common in computer adventure games. The designers of Dragonsphere have incorporated puzzles that challenge all parts of your brain. Many of them, particularly the first half, will really tax your gray matter. Even if you find some of them a piece of cake, there's a good chance that others will leave you stumped. The good news is, thanks to the puzzle's diversity, no 2 players will agree on which are the hard ones. If you get stuck, try inviting a few friends to play the game and you will quickly find your troubles have vanished. Dragonsphere's graphics employ palettes that tend toward dark hues with few bright primary colors. This, combined with the style in which the game is rendered, creates a grim and foreboding atmosphere, which
I do
further
like a
sets
grim
it
and
apart from
foreboding
the
atmosphere.
traditional
Oh my god, those
hero kill
frogs.
big foozle adventure games. While this sometimes falls short of the
Go
artist's
back to the
intentions,
frog.
resulting in garish or muddled
No,
effects,
frog.
For the most part, the art is excellent. If you enjoy the looks of BloodNet, you'll like Dragonsphere. In the game, you control young King Kalish of the Kingdom of Kalahak. 20 years ago, Kalish, his father, and Nurtom, the king's wizard, defeated the evil wizard Sanwi, sealing his entire stronghold inside a magical force dome. At that time, Sanwi prophesied that he and Kalish would have their ultimate showdown 20 years later, and that time is rapidly approaching. Nurtom has created a device to monitor the state of Sanwi's imprisonment, a dragon homunculus sealed in a glass sphere. The Dragon Sphere.
I'm a dragon homunculus
begin
sealed in a
Grand
glass
Galahad, the
sphere.
capital of the
Thank you,
kingdom.
Step Aside, for the
You
bits.
awaken in
Appreciate
your own
that.
bed,
50
knowing
bits.
that
Thank
the time
you.
has come to confront Sanwi.
One of the
The Dragon
bits should
Sphere
be
has
working.
begun to
Hold on, let
show
me try to
signs
fix
of
that.
cracking, indicating that the evil sorcerer is stirring from his 20-year slumber. After a brief exploration of your castle, you're off. On exiting the castle's courtyard, you access a screen that lets you travel to 5 locations in the Kingdom of Kalahak. Except for Grand Kalahak, where you begin, each location has a series of puzzles to be solved. The individual lands can be tackled in any order, but some offer clues as to how you can get through others. This keeps the game from being too linear without being so freeform that it leaves you stranded. In the land of Bryn Fan, home of the fairies, you must pass through the forest maze to speak with their ruler, the Butterfly King. After quizzing you on your knowledge of the fairy perspective, he gives you an item and some information you'll need to defeat Sanwi. In the western part of the kingdom, you must survive traveling through the great desert to reach the land of the Soptus Ecliptus.
The
There,
Soptus
the Caliph of the
Ecliptus?
Soptus insists you play a game with him. Win enough games and he'll give you some items to help in your quest. In Slathan ni Patan, home to the shapeshifters, a wise old shifter will offer a few clues, and the Cave of Shifting Dreams a few insights into Kalish's future. The scenery, populated with shifters who have assumed a variety of forms, makes Slathan one of the creepier locations in the Dragonsphere. Finally, you must pass through the force field surrounding Sanwi's Tower to defeat your nemesis. This is no mean feat, as there are numerous obstacles to reaching the tower, and then you've got to find him. Sanwi's Tower alone should provide several hours of gameplay for all but the most talented adventurers. If I had 3 wishes, I'd wish for world peace, a Silicon Graphics workstation, and a really excellent adventure game. And if the genie handed me Dragon Sphere, I'd consider that wish well fulfilled. It covers the basics well and does several.
You know what? Let's see the second opinion. My mouse? There we
Although
go.
not as enthusiastic as my counterpart, I found Dragonsphere to be better than any Sierra-like adventure game ever made. The roscoe character
Ooh.
animation will keep you astounded from start to finish. All in all, a definite run, don't walk to the store and get one type of game.
Okay. What's the pros?
Overall, this game is generally good throughout. Some outstanding points, however, include the automatic save feature, which lets you jump back to the point where you were at when you quit, the strong storyline, and the use of Welsh and Arabian Nights elements of the world background, rather than the traditional stereotypical Tolkien AD&D ripoff so common to this genre.
And the cons?
There was very little I disliked about this game. Some of the puzzles are very hard, with a few of the conversation pieces being utter hell. There are some parts of the artwork I felt were substandard. Other than that, there's not much to bitch about in Dragonsphere.
Okay, not much to bitch about in Dragonsphere. You heard him. What else should we try? Bloodnet. Y'all, I know you all are excited about logging onto the Bloodnet. Rex Nebular, and of course the King's Quest series. I gotta check out this Bloodnet. Like, I know about the movie The Net.
We'll be right back.
You've seen his games.
I prefer
you've
that
played
to
out
the
his
static
fantasies. Now
noise.
listen to what he has to say. Lord British talks to IE. Check it out under the Features section in the main menu or the Interactive Interviews section in the table of contents. From the creators of Populous comes Theme Park. If you've ever wanted to manage an amusement park, this is your chance. Check out the demo under Install Demos at the main menu.
We now return you to the show.
Sad to hear Bloodnet's not all it's cracked up to be.
If you're a fan of AD&D but have always hated those cliche kill the foozle plots most adventure games adhere
Y'all
to
keep
so
calling it
religiously,
Kill the
SSI
Foozle. Who
has
is
a game for
saying
you.
this?
Dungeon Hack has no plot problems. You simply enter a dungeon and attempt to survive and thrive as you bash your way through as many levels as you think you can take. This adds up to more action than most adventure games on the market, all without having to talk to a single town person. Here's the plot.
What
of
if I want to
Dungeon
talk
Hack
to
in
town
all
people?
Its intricate glory. You are generic adventurer. A powerful mage contracts you to rescue some long-lost orb from the nasty bowels of a dangerous, non-quaint dungeon. Your reward will be whatever you can loot from the inhabitants and carry out, as long as she gets the orb. While you attempt to haggle some upfront cash out of her, she teleports you directly onto the portcullis. So much for the small talk. Now, go kill things. Like most adventure games, Dungeon Hack begins with
A
character
male,
selection.
human,
You
neutral,
may choose
good
from a selection
bard.
of ready-made adventurers or
That's-
create your own
His name is
character
Smooth
designed for the
Tongue.
dungeon.
Ew.
Although most people will
Ew.
prefer to build their own character, the several characters that come with
Ew.
Dungeon Hack at least deserve to be looked at. These characters, who all come with their own backgrounds, are a well-balanced bunch, representing each character class quite well. If you're looking for a solid, realistic character, you could do much worse in other games. Now, if you want to create your own adventure persona, or if you just plain want to stack the odds in your favor, this is the screen to go to. The computer will create some random stats whenever you click on the reroll
I don't
button,
like that I
which you
can't be
can
a
do
dragon.
repeatedly until your eyeballs ache. A generous, although definitely ludicrous touch is the ability to edit the stats once they've been rolled. The potential for abuse of this privilege, and you're stupid if you don't, should be obvious when these steroid-ridden statistics are considered. The customization screen is by far the
Look
most
at
intriguing
this.
feature of Dungeon Hack and what makes it unique among adventure
Food
games. Here you
availability,
get to set the
illusionary
specifications
walls.
for the dungeon the program will create for you. As you can see, the list of options is extensive and gives
Look
you
at
a
these
great deal of control
options.
over the random dungeons. The dungeon can be as easy or brutal as you want it, and there are so many ways to change the difficulty. Probably the most masochistic of all options is the Real Death Character Switch. When enabled, this little gem erases your character's saved game file should you be overcome in the dungeon. That's a concept sure to jangle some jaded adventure freaks to the cores of their spleens. Fans of SSI's Eye of the Beholder 3 should feel right at home in these dungeons. The main exploring and hacking screen is handsomely drawn and the interface is slick. The objects you wish to equip are placed in their appropriate places on the character outline. The inventory rack flips left and right to expose its three sides, and inventory management hassles are seldom experienced. The two buttons to the right of the character icon show the in-hand items that are ready for immediate use. Although players can use the arrow buttons on the right side of the screen to move around, I prefer to move around by working the keyboard's number pad with my left hand while freeing up the mouse pointer to open doors, attack monsters, and perform other important tasks. If nothing else, one of the first things you'll learn to do if you play for more than, 10 seconds is learn how to fight monsters. This cockatrice may look menacing, but
I thought it was like
a denizens of this game.
chicken. Well, I guess a
Fighting
cockatrice is a
accomplished by
chicken.
clicking on a weapon, scroll, spell
A
book,
danger
or other
chicken.
implement of destruction readied in one of the in-hand boxes. Animation of the monsters and your forces of doom is less than spectacular, but it gets the point across, and quick. The fighting system is simple, which keeps Hack from succumbing to the unending combat drudgery that keeps me away from other games of this type. In Hack, the monsters aren't just different-looking pictures to take a slug at.
I like that guy a
Production
lot.
paper
Look at
and
that
pencil
with the
cell.
cut with the
Unfortunately
rip-off
for the
jeans.
gamer,
I
this
guess
means
it's
that
not
they
cut
have
off
special
technically.
abilities and attacks. All the better to mash you into paladin putty with, my dear. Take this cute little ghoul, for instance. Whenever he hits you, he has a chance of holding you, making you unable to counterattack. That's
Ghoul.
inconvenient. When this happens, it's best to yell, "Run away!" and use your non-paralyzed legs to carry you far away until the effect wears off. Naturally, in your sojourn through your dungeon, you will find many doors, and many of them.
You know, I wouldn't go through that
Keys are
door. It
scattered
looks
around,
like
but won't necessarily
dangerous,
be on
you
the
know.
same level as their intended door if you selected multi-level puzzles at the customization screen. There are, however, many other means than keys to open doors. Most gems that you find are in fact pieces of ornaments that are actually latching mechanisms. Thieves can, of course, attempt to pick the locks. If you're lucky, you may even find the occasional magical item to crack even the most stubborn doors. On a graphically pleasing note, the doors and the other parts of the dungeon as well change
Bulk Logan, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you.
The monsters in the first 4 levels are pretty tame, run-of-the-mill evil things to run through with your sword, which is a good thing considering you're no Terminator yourself at this point. Even on an early level, it's not uncommon for the computer to stick a tougher-than-average monster like this sill between you and the stairs to the next level, just so you don't go into foozle withdrawal. This is a good indication of how intelligently the computer
Foozle
designs
this,
dungeons.
foozle
You might
that.
find impossibilities like rooms with no doors or hallways that stop abruptly at the edge of the playing grid here. Each dungeon level is laid out as if a real person drew them on graph paper. The dungeon graphics are attractive and well drawn and make a visual pleasure out of what could be a real eyesore. Each level has its own look. Some are dingy, slimy dungeons of a traditional type where the torture never stops, while others are so opulent they seem more like monster-infested palaces. But don't stare at the walls just because they're pretty. Taking in your surroundings
won't.
can be profitable too. Occasionally, the observant adventurer will discover a niche in the wall. These niches have all kinds of small goodies stashed away in them.
Like
Coins,
chicken.
scrolls, magical rings. Just don't expect to find a suit of
Yeah,
personal in
okay,
one of
someone
these little
mentioned
cubby
earlier.
holes.
I did just notice that guy's name is
I
Stilgar.
told you the monsters
That's a-
got
that's a
rougher.
name.
For those who scoff at the dangers of the deep dungeon, prepare to meet death at the hand of one of the most feared creatures of the Forgotten Realms universe. No, not a Netfunicello, but the Death Knight. These undead beasties start popping up around the
Sorry for
edge of
bonking the
and
mic.
will
I
into
literally
your
drooped
piece of
my
luck.
head
In
at
addition
the
to being
mention of a net
menacing
fluted cello
swordsmen,
because
these creatures also have a fireball attack which can ruin your day in a big hurry. Although a Death Knight can only shoot 1 fireball per day, this attack cost me well over 60 hit points more than once. But then again, I guess that's what they make Rings of Fire Resistance for.
I
We'll
guess.
be right back.
Magic Candle was one of the best role-playing games of its time. It has a
Ah,
fantastic
wow.
plot
So
and gameplay that'll make you think you're playing a
I gotta
real
say,
pencil and
I
paper
do
game on
I
your
do
computer.
like these
Look in the
dungeon
main menu
games,
under
but
Install Demos for the complete game, or
I'm
check
with
out our
I'm
article under the
with
Features
you
section in the main menu.
with everyone else in the chat who's like, my
Dynamics
brain
has
is
long
too
been a
small for
maker
these
of great
intelligent
games.
games. Mine
One of
is
their latest
too.
Creations, Front Page Sports Baseball is on its way. For a sneak preview, select Features at the main menu or Previews in the table of contents.
And now, back to the action. This could be you in a few years. Although Dungeon Hack's graphics are only in 320 by 200 mode, they are colorful and well detailed. Adornments of the pretty and not so pretty varieties grace the walls of these dungeons. Aqueducts, rat holes, tapestries, instruments of
Rat
torture, and of
holes.
course, dead guys behind grapes will keep your dungeon crawl a graphically rich experience. Things may not move around too much in Dungeon Hack, but at least they look real good standing still. There are many things I hate about adventure games, and Dungeon Hack avoids them all very well. It's also the only computer game on the market you'll never need a cluebook for. I was pleasantly surprised at how fast the computer created the random dungeons. It's simple, but what it does well. If you like exploring dangerous caverns, battling scary monsters, and elevating a character from
Sorry,
a
Cat
weakling
was
into a
banging on the door,
powerhouse,
and I was like,
Dungeon Hack
"Huh?"
won't fail to please.
All right, let's see the good, the bad, and the ugly of Dungeon Hack. Get back. There we go.
If you're a fan of AD&D,
If you've ever played Eye of the Beholder and thought, boy, that was a great game, but I wish it was really long and had random dungeons, your prayers have been answered. Dungeon Hack plays just like the old Eye of the Beholder, except this time you're going it alone. No friends to hold your hand. All we need now is a network playable version.
Yeah, and F. Funicello was really had a moment in the 90s. It was very strange.
the dungeon creation routine is very powerful and surprisingly fast. The dungeon customization screen allows a lot of input from the player, so you can tailor your dungeons to exactly the difficulty you want. Each dungeon comes with a seed code that can be used to recreate the dungeon if you're especially fond of it.
Oh.
The game will occasionally create an unsolvable dungeon. Movement
An
is
unsolvable
text-based instead of true 3D style
You-
like Ultima Underworld.
You shouldn't
Monsters
be
have
able to
very
create an
little
unsolvable
animation, and
dungeon.
gameplay slows down noticeably from time to time.
And we should also try Eye of the Beholder, Bard's Tale Construction Set, and Lands. I haven't actually heard of Lands of Lore. I wonder if it's good. Chat, do you know about Lands of Lore? Alright, see Fields of Glory.
Fields of Glory, originally designed by the blokes at Microprose UK,
Blokes.
actually marched across Europe several months ago before embarking for the New World. It seems Napoleon needed a refresher course.
Lands of
war
Lore is a
knowledge
cat dude in
before
it? Okay,
making
I gotta
the
play.
transatlantic trip. Fields of Glory covers the epic struggle surrounding the apocalyptic Battle of Waterloo, pitting Napoleon's troops against the Duke of Wellington's combined Anglo-Allied armies and the Prussians led by General Blücher. Set amidst the muddied fields near Waterloo, Belgium in June of 1815, Fields of Glory covers the entire scope of the campaign by replaying the infamous conflict along the lines of 6 separate actions. You can choose to command the forces of either side. You must then choose from one of 5 realism or intelligence levels to be used by your computer opponent.
Cool,
Game
so I
provides
could
players
make
with 3 very
make
different
everybody
options for the deployment
really
of their armies,
really
ranging from the
unintelligent,
historically accurate to the
like
more open-minded free placement
fork
variant.
in a toaster
The command structure in
unintelligent.
Fields of Glory provides players with a varying degree of control over their forces. The game
Can I
makes use
involve
of an
Benjamin
extensive
Franklin
database which
somehow?
religiously lists all of the units, their leaders,
With
and
intelligence,
subordinate
like,
commanders that took
negative
part in the
2?
battles. Field of Glory's graphics are beautifully rendered in a crisp 256 color VGA palette. The countryside is certainly a sight to behold, especially when one samples the highest magnification level. The battlefield terrain is lavishly depicted using handsome representations of farmhouses, churches, streams, bridges, roads, and the occasional odd piece of shrubbery. The combatants are treated with an equivalent degree of loving attention. All of the multicolored formations surrealistically dot the landscape like hand-painted lead soldiers set atop a miniature battlefield. The uniforms convey all the pomp and ceremony of 19th century warfare. 3 separate viewing modes are available to view the unfolding events. At the 8-mile magnification, commanders rely on various command flag icons.
Ah,
At the 4-mile level,
sorry,
the
that's just
main
too much
battle
going
screen
on.
breaks
Look at
down upon
that.
individual units,
Terrifying.
depicting miniature congregations of foot soldiers, cavalry, artillery pieces, and commanders' pennants.
that's just so much.
The 1-mile magnification further refines the feel for the tactical dispositions of the troops, but makes it harder to deploy your
This is
armies.
why I don't do war
Overall,
games,
the 4-mile
because war is just too
magnification is
like
probably
I'm
the
too
best mode from which
I'm not
to use the
intelligent enough
troops.
for war.
A simple interface controls the overall ebb and flow of the game. By simply pointing and clicking, a
I'm
commander
barely
can give his
intelligent
units
enough
their
for
marching
Bubsy.
orders virtually on the fly. An important consideration since Fields of Glory runs as a real-time war game. Once the marching orders have been issued, individual commanders report in on their progress. Messenger-delivered reports indicate various commanders' positions, strengths, and the extent of their unit's casualties. These messages can either be answered or ignored. Additionally, pop-up menus periodically appear indicating when friendly and enemy leaders have fallen in battle. Fields of Glory
True,
also
true. If I
employs a
reduced
number
everyone
of
else's
special
intelligence,
attacks. When
it would
orders
be
are
an
issued, troopers are
equal
carried each unit's
battlefield.
deployment. As opposing
I should have
troops
said
become
playing
engaged in
field.
battle,
What a
soldiers
duh.
take aim and present a steady stream of musket fire.
I'm not doing the
Cannons
jokes right because I don't have a
angrily
jester
explode, and in
hat. I
time,
need a
soldiers
jester
on either
hat.
side fall out as casualties mount. At the end of each scenario, a staff officer's report lists the result of your actions, including the extent of casualties inflicted and suffered, as well as how one has fared in relation to the actual historical results. Overall success or failure is determined by comparing point totals that are garnered from damage inflicted upon the enemy and the securing of certain key geographical objectives. Some of the problems on the battlefield had nothing to do with the enemy. Many times I was bewildered at the sight of enemy commanders tramping through my own lines in what appeared to be a review of my own troops. At other times, formations seemed too easily fouled up within villages or with
There's
each
so
other.
much going
Additionally,
on.
the victory conditions are vague, while battles seem
This
to
is why I
end
don't do a
almost at the
lot
whim
of
the computer.
computer
Movement from one end of the
anything game.
battlefield
Well, that's
to the
not
other
true.
is
I do
painfully slow,
multimedia,
and too
but
much battlefield intelligence is available. Also, lingering clouds of smoke and mist have been remarkably excluded from the game.
no.
Perhaps there were some off-board fans in my review copy.
Where's the
And now
smoke?
a word from
Where's
our
the
sponsors.
mist?
Microprose
Instead
has
of
done
smoke
it
and
again.
mist, we get ads
This
for
time,
XCOM.
their newest strategy game featuring tactical level combat. Look under the install.
Yeah, I'm
demo
really bad
section
at
of the
strategy.
main menu.
I just whoop bounce
If
right
you
off
are
of
looking
it.
for a fast-paced game with some serious graphics and gameplay like you can only get in the arcades, look no further. Raptor is here. Check out the shareware version of Raptor in the main menu under Install Demos.
And now, back to interactive entertainment.
Considering some of the murkiness and shortcomings that still plague the game, Fields of Glory does elicit much of the splendor and color of 19th century Napoleonic warfare, festooned in all of war's perverse and tragic consequences. While some may find fault with Fields of Glory's AI, available acumen, and rather simplistic combat system, I still found
Thank
it
you for the
refreshing.
sub, Kaboom. Appreciate it. You know, I have other sub images. I don't know why they aren't popping up, but I'm glad she is at least. You know, I think we have enough time for one more review before we break to intermission, and then after that we'll do Microsoft Extreme. Oh, man. See, I would love to... You know what? I'm just going to jump ahead. I want to see what they say about Grolier's Encyclopedia. Hold on, the music is jamming. All right, let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
If you are wondering how well an encyclopedia release would work in a CD-ROM format, take a look at the new Grolier Multimedia Encyclopedia. This program demonstrates how simple reference and research work can be when information is stored on a CD. The information base for this program is Grolier's Academic American Encyclopedia, with additional maps, videos, animations, and sound. In a sense, it's almost too much information, since the application froze up on 2 occasions during our testing on this review. However, that was a minor inconvenience when compared to the ease of use. There are 12
Oh, this
different
was a pack-in,
categories
huh?
listed on the main menu, but the most
The only
important
pack and
skill to
I
learn is
encyclopedia.
word search.
Nixon,
Assigning one
Watergate,
or
and
more
impeachment. That's
keywords,
me.
you
I'm
can
doing that
easily
search.
determine what
Good
information
search.
is available on the subject that you're interested in. When the search function is finished, you're given a list of articles that your keywords appear in by article title. Once you select a specific article, you're given
That's
quick
Richard
access to
Petty.
an outline of the article, any accompanying pictures, videos, or sounds, and a fact box if available. You can
If
follow
available.
this additional information via the icon bar. As was the case in other recent Grolier releases, the graphics accompanying this package are extremely well done. You can quickly find a map of any
I
state
guess
or
that's
country on the
that.
globe through the Maps category on
That's
the main
Vermont
menu.
for you.
The maps play a major role in the multimedia
Hey,
package, which
we
use
know about the
additional
Gulf War
graphics
on
and
this
narration
channel.
to illustrate historical events. You can also use cross-references to related articles in this section of the encyclopedia. Page Explorer is similar to the multimedia function in that it provides links to related articles, and also
Oh.
uses videos in its essays, along with its regular graphics package of maps and animations. And the essays in this section also include a narration.
Cool bird. Show me the bird. 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 No. They're just like, no, you don't get to see what the bird is. That's a
The
shame.
best part of this package is the thought its designers put into making related information easy to find as you move around. For instance, the timeline find function runs through history, but you can call up a specific year simply by typing in that year. Regardless of what section of the program you're in, you can move to another section by either using the search function or clicking the appropriate icon in the main toolbar. You can also print or save to your own disk virtually all of the encyclopedia's articles, pictures, or maps.
Chat, I have
The
something
video
to
section
ask.
isn't really of much
Are
use
any
as
of
far
you
as
old
reference
enough
material goes.
that you,
The
instead
quality
of,
is a little better than average, but it's very dependent on how sharp
did
the
any of you
original
print out
clip is.
game facts
The
back
main
in the
menu
day?
lists all of the articles by subject name, but it doesn't make much sense to
I
plow
did
through
that
this
all the
portion when you
time.
can quickly
Okay, it's not
locate
just
whatever you're
me.
looking for through
I
word
feel so
search.
bad. I wasted so much of my parents' printer,
If you
paper,
have a
and ink
CD-ROM,
on
you
that.
now have a great excuse to brush off the next encyclopedia salesman that comes to your your door.
I'm glad it's not
Given a
just
choice
me.
between paying his company thousands of dollars for his full set of
See,
volumes,
school is the
or paying
right
the
place to
list price
do
of
it. I didn't do
$149.95
any of
for
that
the
at
new
school because
Grolier
I was an
Multimedia
idiot. I should have done it at
Encyclopedia, Give your
school.
bank account and your bookcase a break and go for the CD.
You know what? Let's see the pros and the cons. No. I also want to see the second opinion.
The CD-ROM format allows access to a lot of information in Grolier's Multimedia Encyclopedia, but the video portion of this package is a waste of time. Before the potential of releases of this kind can be fully realized, the designers must come up with the video clips that are as easy to watch as the reference information is easy to read.
Okay. You know, that's very fair. The
information base for this
it should be easy to look up videos on a multimedia disc. I agree with that.
Whatever you need to find is in the new Grolier Multimedia Encyclopedia, and it's
Print out
easy
a
to
Final
track down
Fantasy
with
VI
the web search
walkthrough,
function.
delightful.
The graphics are outstanding with easy-to-read maps and animation.
Dot Matrix, oh my god. That's amazing. I didn't print out anything on a dot matrix. I should have. We used to have a dot matrix printed, but we got rid of it by the time I was looking up game
The
facts.
program can be temperamental, as 2 computer crashes during this review demonstrated. Also, while you can't really call yourself a multimedia release without video these days, the quality of the film clips are average at best.
What good is it without good video? Go back to reviews. I actually have enough time for one more review. Let's go with Fury of the Furries. As chat said, it's them.
Fury of the Furries is an entertaining combination of puzzles and arcade challenge.
I
Think of
hate their
combining a
feet
Super
though,
Mario
okay?
game
It's
with
so
lemmings or
bad.
Goblins, and you get the idea. Although it's not yet being distributed in the U.S., once it hits our shores, it should go over big with both the Lemmings-like puzzle fans and arcade gamers. Although this game practically oozes cuteness, it thankfully falls short of being annoying or childish.
It practically
premise of
oozes
Fury of the
cuteness.
Furries
Not
is
really.
pretty standard
Look
for
at their
this type of
feet.
game.
That's not
Being
cute.
furry
That's
has been
disturbing.
overthrown by the big,
It is
bad,
an Angel
nasty
Bubsy
evil
game, but I
furries,
still don't
and
like
it's
their
your job
feet.
to make it through many levels of extreme danger.
You print the
Castle
translation to a
leaders
Japanese
slice
wrestling
people
game on
and
Saturn.
restore
Perfect.
hope and freedom
Perfect.
to the galaxy. Oops, I had an attack of overlapping premises. It's not the most ingenious story, but at least it beats saying, your mission, get to the end of each level.
We'll be right back.
Whoa!
Forget reading. Subscribe to IE. 12 episodes. only
Forget
$59.
reading. That's how I
Call
feel.
now. Microprose has done it again. This time it's XCOM, their newest strategy game featuring tactical level combat. Look under the install.
Yeah, I
button
should have
section
used
of
that
the main
subscribe
menu.
image for my own subscribe message.
And now, back to IE.
Your furry can switch between 4 different colors, each with its own special talent. However, these colors are not always available to you at the start of the level. Passing through these color fields will give you the corresponding color if you don't have it, or takes it away if you do. This forces the player to think of alternate
You
solutions
printed the
to
entire
puzzles,
Ruby
since you cannot
manual?
rely on the unlimited access of your furry's abilities. Like in Super Mario games, bonus coins are sometimes
Super
scattered
Mario
around the playing
games.
field. Collecting 100 of these will give you a bonus life. Although the potential to simply mimic Mario games is there.
1 second,
Fury of
folks.
the
I gotta let
Furries
the cat
wisely
in.
avoids this by reducing coin collecting to a minor activity. There's a lot more to this game than just jumping from platform to platform and running around picking up bonus items. The yellow furry is the only one capable of directly destroying an enemy. It hurls fireballs that can help rid you of pesky creatures that intimidate you. A tap of the spacebar will throw a weak fireball, while holding
That
the gun
guy
down
looks
for
like
long
Cool
produces a
Spot.
more
That's
potent
just
missile.
Cool Spot.
Luckily, this doesn't turn the game into just another shooter.
That's Cool
as most of the
Spot.
obstacles must be otherwise dealt with,
Sorry for.
but firepower still comes
That's
in
Cool
handy.
Spot.
The red furry is the one with the appetite. You may not think of eating as a talent, but you'll come to respect this little guy's abilities. By munching on select parts of the level, he mangles a path to victory, chewing on obstacles until they are no more. Apart from
She has a
gnawing
jester voice. I
obviously
respect
edible
it.
blocks, cutting your teeth on other objects can sometimes yield a nice surprise. Surprise! In yet another homage to Mario games, hidden bonus levels abound in Fury of the Furries. Any object that seems to serve no purpose other than window decoration.
Yeah,
should be
loser
given
spot. That's
serious
him.
Attention, as many are keys to these bonus rounds. Not surprisingly, the goal in these rounds is to collect as many coins as possible before time runs out. The occasional red herring appears, and even magazine editors are not above wasting time on suspicious but mundane objects. When you see a large body of water,
Is
it's
I can
usually
turn
a
up the volume.
handy
Hold
time
up.
to be blue. Although any furry can swim along the surface, only the blue furry can dive under the water and do a Jacques Cousteau imitation. Another talent of the blue guy is his ability to blow air bubbles while underwater. Although this may not sound so impressive, directing these bubbles at a fish demonstrates the theory that air and aquatic life generally don't mix. The green furry is the most versatile creature in the game. It also is
That's
the
just
most fun to play
gimmick.
by far. He shoots a rope
That's
that latches
gimmick.
onto nearly any surface. This rope can be shortened or lengthened as you dangle from it. Rocking back and forth enables the green furry to swing through the air like Tarzan. In addition to swinging, he can also attach his line to a block next to him and pull it across the screen. It's not uncommon to find your way blocked.
I'm a
by
green
some
furry and
obstacle
I can
that none
attach
of your
things to
furries can
blocks.
overcome by mere talent.
Thank you,
Puzzle
Double
solving in this
Buffered,
game
for the
usually involves
follow.
manipulating objects to clear the path
Welcome.
to the level's exit. Here, flipping the switch on the left of the screen will drain off the water to the right of the furry, allowing the critter to stand on the platform and continue on his way toward the exit. If you leave a furry idle for too long, it'll find a way to entertain itself. This is at you. Also seen
Okay.
here is a pulley system that a green furry might enjoy tugging on. You may never know what possibilities may open up by pulling a block to the left a bit. By the way, the green stuff is acid. Avoid it or you'll end up like this. It's cute once or twice, but who wants to keep marching into a pool of acid like a bunch of lemmings? Some levels take place in the forest. If you think this is a good place for your green furry to act like Tarzan, you're right. Unlike most levels of the game where the exit is found by walking to the right, many of the forest levels must be scaled. Various insects will try to make your life more complicated. Although you can often get a free ride by hanging off an airborne enemy, they can also sever your line by flying through it. Although the artwork of the cutscenes really stand out, the
That's
graphics all
Dune
through
to
the game are
me.
high quality. The animated furries are especially comical and help to boost the game's appeal with a young audience. Fury of the Furries isn't just a kid's game, though, as many of the puzzles can really tweeze your brain. As a trade-off for decaying reflexes, we adult types are blessed with amazing cognitive powers that enable us to play for up to an hour before getting hopelessly stuck. But you're not trying to logic your way around some hideous puzzle. You're scrambling to keep from getting mashed into colorful little fur patties by hostile
I don't want to be
creatures
smashed
and
into a fur
unsafe
patty.
terrain. Although these fish can only jump straight up, they do so with alarming speed, and only those who master the use of their vines will survive. Quite often the arcade sequences are even more difficult than the puzzles, and many levels must be played scores of times to get every move just right. If you've ever had fun guiding Mario through a screen full of peril, or laughed as a tribe of mismanaged lemmings marched cheerfully toward a horrible death, you should have a lot of fun with Fury of the Furries, provided, of course, you can find it. It's a terrific combination of puzzle solving and action that should appeal to a very wide audience.
Okay. But
It's
we,
a highly addictive.
you know, we want to see a second
Quite
opinion.
simply, this is the most fun little game I've played in a while. If you have some time to kill and you're looking for something to the right of hardcore puzzles and the left of hardcore adventure, check out the furries. Once they make their way across
Check out the
pond,
furries. What are the pros?
A mix of arcade action and puzzle solving makes this game very addictive.
The devs of this were,
Great graphics
you know,
and
I could,
sound,
I
fast
could,
players,
I could
and
see
highly
that the devs of
entertaining
this were
gameplay
Dune
keeps them
freaks. I
very
get the
cute,
vibe.
but not annoying.
Very cute, but not annoying. What are the
Copy
cons?
protection code sheet is typed in pale blue ink, making it a real eye strainer. The game only
Boo.
saves your position every 5 levels, so some screens have to be replayed too often.
Okay, what else should we try? Lemmings, humans, not Hubans, or maybe Hubans, and the Goblins series. That's actually been something I've been wanting to check out, but that's only because I'm a goblin freak. Okay, so I think that's enough of interactive entertainment for now. Let's go to the main menu here. Oh, God! Sorry, I actually threw my headphones off at that.
Forget reading. Subscribe to IE.
Yeah,
12 episodes,
sorry.
only $59. Call now.
I've been attacked.
Do you have what it takes to save Earth using only your wits, skill, and your trusty sidearm? Check out Corridor 7, the hot new action thriller from Capstone, and find out. It's you against the aliens in this fully playable demo located under Install Demos off the main menu.
And now, back to interactive entertainment.
Okay, that was Interactive Entertainment 01, which only blasted our ears a few times, so that's good. Next up, we're going to be watching Microsoft Extreme from fall 1997, and that was a consumer preview showcase. It's very interesting if you want to see some proto Windows 98 stuff, some toys that I totally forgot that Windows Microsoft made, and some other weird Microsoft 90s goodness. Do stay tuned for that. But before then, we're going to go to intermission. So let me just shut down Windows here. Windows, shut down. And that is how Windows should sound when it shuts down. And, yeah, okay. I'm going to go to intermission now, and I'll see y'all in about 10 minutes. Hey, I'm back. And oh, I need to change the title here. We are no longer playing interactive entertainment. Did you like that? That was music with birds. My favorite things, music and birds. Two great tastes that I guess you could eat chicken while listening. Anyway, I'm thinking too much. I need to get back on track. We are watching spelled like this. Yeah, spelled with the small e, big X, according to the uploader. And this is VHS. HPS. Oh, 1997. There we go. And multimedia jams to eat chicken too. Man, I love chicken. Chicken is so good. All right, let's get this started. So, I'm going to mention it real quick. I mentioned it earlier in the stream, but this was a basically a like almost like an E3 preview type thing, but about Microsoft products. There we go. And turn that down a little bit. And yeah, it's extreme. No sexy cows in this one. According to the uploader, and I'm just going to drop the link in the chat. The uploader, who is named Blue Horizon 137, this was aired in theaters. You can also get, and they also mentioned that you can get, you can literally
Extreme
get
thinking,
T-shirts from
extreme power,
Microsoft
and
Extreme
products
all
for
over
extreme
eBay.
users.
Thank you,
Live from
Botoggle, for
Seattle,
the
Washington,
follow.
It's Microsoft Extreme. Today, we're looking at cutting-edge products and ideas coming from Microsoft.
And let me know if
Much
the
of what
audio
you'll
is
see
too
today
quiet or
hasn't
too
been seen
loud.
anywhere else. Are you ready? Here's the host of today's show, a product manager from the desktop division at Microsoft, Susie Levine.
Desktop Division!
Hey, welcome to the first ever Microsoft Extreme Extravaganza.
Fuck
we
yeah.
are so excited that you all are here with us today to see this.
Okay,
You-
ma'am.
You propeller heads.
Okay,
we
ma'am,
love
it's
you
okay.
guys. We can't wait to share with you some of the technology that's available today, that you're going to see over the next couple of weeks and couple of months.
She looks like
and give
edgy
you a
Shelley
taste
Duvall.
Of what we're planning for the future.
This is if Shelley
for
Duvall
you
would beat the
and your
crap
future.
out of you.
You know, we have so much to share with you over the next hour and a half. Extreme technology. But not from here. This place, totally lame. Let's go find someplace extreme.
Okay, let's go some more. See, she's so serious. I love her.
You know, I thought about the Microsoft campus, and there may be some really extreme people there, but it's not quite doing it for me. Maybe something to do with water.
When the boat flips over, hold on to that handle really hard.
You're gonna throw those at me?
If you see a shark, just jab it with this.
Shark?
No.
You want me to climb up there? You've got to be kidding me! You want me to jump from here to there? Yes.
All right. From the summit, we'll be running down the mountain at a 45-degree angle for about 1 mile. You will come to a grizzly cave. Do not make eye contact with the furry beast. We'll then move on down to the side of the river.
I think this is pretty extreme for
Cross the river
Microsoft.
to a kayak. Get a kayak paddle down the river about 4 miles to an underground tunnel where you'll capsize your kayak, swim through the tunnel, enter the cave here. That's where you need to capture 2 15-foot snow snakes. I want you to put them in this bag right here. Walk backwards out to the glacier where you'll ride your helicopter up to the top of the mountain. That's where we'll mount you into your hang glider and you will ride back down to the base camp. Any questions?
Me? The barrel? The falls? I don't think so. Are we supposed to be tipping over this far?
Those things were all very, very extreme.
Yeah.
They're still not quite what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I am in search of extreme technology. I know. Let's try one more spot for the show, shall we?
GameWorks Seattle, woo!
Seattle, it is a gorgeous day. I don't even know if I'm in Seattle with this kind of blue sky.
It's so extreme. I gotta have
That's a good idea. You know,
I'm gonna open
I
up
think
my
this will be
lime
just
soda
fine
here.
for the extreme location that we need. In fact, on the extremometer, redlining, it's a very good thing. So here we
Ah,
are,
the
GameWorks Seattle, a great
extremometer.
place. If you've ever been to GameWorks, you know it is quite fun. Over the course of today and the next hour and a
Rip
half, we have
GameWorks.
so much to show you, as I said before. Everything from Barney,
I love her
Internet Explorer,
outfit.
Front page, picture it, many, many other things. But you know what? I think
You
I
heard
need to work
right,
on my
she did
pitching
say
skills
Barney.
first, so I'm going to go and play Virtual Bass-O-Matic, and we'll be right back.
What I'm about to tell you, I've never told anyone. I love Barney.
Well, it's kind of a difficult thing to talk about, but do I have to say this? I had 2 tickets to Riverdance. I traded them for a Barney doll.
I wasn't always this way. I was normal, forever, for a long time. Predictable to all my friends, until Barney came into my life. Barney's changed my life forever. I can't stop thinking about him.
Well, he's my hero.
Move your head back and forth, back and forth.
I buy purple bubblegum. My favorite song is Purple Haze. Barney won't leave me alone. I think about him day and night. That voice, that Barney voice.
Watch me.
I can't stand it. I can't get it out of my head.
Let's play.
I take Barney everywhere with me. Football games, drag racing. Heck, I just take Barney everywhere. I love
You
it.
hate Barney? Well, you can't hate Barney because look at
I
these
love Barney.
people.
He's my buddy.
Head and shoulders, knees and toes. Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro?
Oh, excuse me. I love you, man.
We're going to
So,
make
welcome
out.
back. I would like to introduce now a fellow purple prehistoric pal, John Porcaro, who is going to share with us the wonderful things.
This
about
video is about
Barney.
cool and
Yeah, we love
upcoming
Barney.
Microsoft
Barney
products
is,
like
one of
Barney.
the most fascinating
Actimates.
characters. Kids of all ages love him, especially those under 5 years old.
Very cool, very cool. And he looks pretty plush.
Very
What is
cool,
the
very
scoop with this guy?
cool.
Well, this is an interactive play toy. This has been specifically designed as an educational toy for kids. Why did we choose Barney? A lot of people ask me that. I think the reason that we actually chose Barney is because as we've done testing with kids, we found out that kids identify with Barney more than any other character. More than
Really?
Sesame Street's Big Bird, more than Mickey Mouse. Kids love
Wow.
Barney.
Teach
Wow, what
shit,
does he
Big
do?
Bird.
Well, he actually does several things. This
Okay.
toy is pretty incredible. If you squeeze his toe here, he'll sing one of 17 different songs. If you squeeze his hand, he'll play one of 12 different games.
And what if you pull his finger?
Let's try it. No, let's not try it. This is, let's actually try squeezing his toe here.
Okay.
Let's listen to some of his songs
Let's
that he'll play.
have some fun. Cover my eyes. Let's sing.
Let's sing.
If you're happy and you know it, stamp your feet.
Stomp your feet. Oh, I was ready to
You're
clap my
happy
hands.
and you know it, stamp your feet.
And
Do
we
you
can
like
cycle
how
through
Barney's
different songs.
mic'd up? I respect that. Yeah, and apparently this hostess became the ambassador to Switzerland and Liechtenstein.
Let's try
So
squeezing his hand.
If you'd like to hear the ABC,
the Susan G. Levine or Levine did good for herself.
sing.
Very, very cool.
It is very cool. We love Barney.
We love Barney.
Now, while we may love Barney,
And you know
5-year-olds and under may love Barney. Let's talk about the parents, shall we?
Well, one thing that we love for parents is if you squeeze both hands, he'll sing the cleanup
Come
song.
on, let's clean up. Clean up.
So this is a secret weapon for adults. Adults love this. Kids will pitch in and start cleaning up when they hear the song. It's magic.
Will they? Will they really? You think a child is just magically going to do their chores because Barney told them to?
Well,
I
secret
think
tool
not.
there. Squeeze his hand and
I don't
his
think
foot
Barney
at
has
the
that
same
pull
time
on
when he goes to
people.
sleep.
That is excellent. Now, there's more to Barney than just the standalone Barney, correct?
That's true, absolutely. He'll work with your VCR actually, or with your TV set. The new shows that they're showing.
Barney
on PBS,
ran
the
on
Barney
public
shows,
television,
actually
I
have an
think.
RF signal that are sent to
It
your
may
TV.
have been in
We have this
syndication
transmitter
at
set
some
up on top of
places,
the
but
TV,
I
plugs
do
in back
remember
to
it
the
being
TV,
public
and it'll interact
television.
with Barney directly. So let's roll a videotape here, and we'll take a look at how Barney interacts here.
Now that's what I call a healthy snack.
So yeah, this is one of those interactive toys that would interact with like
So
the
you can see
Barney
that Barney
tapes, which is pretty
actually
cool.
is watching the TV show. He becomes an intelligent companion as you're watching the show. He encourages children to think about what's happening on
Look,
the
he's
screen.
dancing.
Now, as cool as that is, you got to see this other thing. We'll turn that off for a second, and I want to show you how Barney interacts with the computer. This is a one-way
Ooh.
transmitter, so this will send signals to Barney, and it'll actually double his vocabulary.
I'm not gonna
They'll go
lie,
from
these kind of
2,000
toys
words in
always seemed really
standalone
cool to me
to
as a kid.
4,000 words in this
I
one,
would have been
working with the
97 would have been way too late for me to play with a Barney
Well, I think that
toy,
may be
but
true.
I respect
let's
this.
turn on the computer here.
I know a great game. It's called the question game.
So we're going to start him up here.
Good night, Barney.
Put him to sleep, actually. Here we go. So on screen here, we have Baby Bop, and we're going to be looking for a rectangle. So I'm going to choose a triangle here, maybe choose the wrong one.
Now, this is the game that, in fact, ships with the product, right?
That's right. As you buy the separate pack that ships for the computer, this game comes with it.
Oh,
so Barney knows
okay,
that we're looking
okay.
for a rectangle. Now, if we... Now, quit interrupting Baby Bop here. If you squeeze his foot, he'll actually sing a song. He becomes a transmitter to the PC.
You know what, Krongo, you're right is the thing. These are a big hassle to set up. Like these interactive TV toys, they really are.
Isn't that great?
And
Check this out.
I still wanted
If I
them, but
squeeze his foot, he'll play a game.
I know that in practice they are
Now, my
impossible.
favorite part about this Barney
Just get
thing,
yourself
though,
some
he actually
Furbies
has
from a
light
thrift store, you'll be
sensors in his
fine.
eyes. So if we cover his eyes,
They play peekaboo. Oh, my God.
Here you
Now,
go.
if you've ever been with a kid hanging out, you
I don't
know
like that
peekaboo
grip he has on Barney's head. That's really
is
weird.
one of their favorite games. Wow.
Watch this.
I see you.
Yeah, Baby Bob needs the
We
damn
love Barney.
rectangle.
Very, very slick. Now, one of the questions that I have about Barney.
We're going to put him to
We're
sleep.
going to put him to sleep. Now, I have a bunch of nephews, and the beautiful thing about them is how they destroy their toys. What about Barney?
Well, Barney is practically indestructible. We did all kinds of
Thank you,
testing to
Revenant,
make sure
for
he
the
was really
sub.
durable. So
Appreciate
everything
that.
from
Appreciate
the construction
that.
itself to even his arms, they have flexible rods inside so they won't break. In fact, we wanted to test
Thank
to
you,
make sure that he
Cinco
would be
Play,
able
for
to
the
tumble down
follow.
stairs.
Thank
We put
you.
him in a dryer overnight. He tumbled all night for 12 hours, came out fine, no problems at all. So
Now,
Barney,
don't try that at home,
right.
please. All right, now, Barney available now, right?
Yeah, he is.
Now, of the Actimates line, Barney's the first, right?
That's right, he is. We're actually going to be doing more Actimates products coming up in the next year or two. I can't tell you what they are. I'd have to shoot you.
Wow.
But look for them coming soon.
Don't
Maybe
say
some-
that.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's just hope that they're working on the Mel Gibson life-size Actimates. Can only cross my fingers.
I don't know.
Well, John, Barney, thank you very much. We'll see you a little bit later, John.
You bet.
Now, from our Mesozoic multimedia pal and beyond, we'll take a break and come right back.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, you can't see me. I'm jamming. What is that guy doing? What? We don't get to know. Okay. Yeah, is this extreme enough for everybody? Should I turn up the extremometer?
Welcome back from Barney for all of those who have missed their morning cartoons this Saturday. Now to Internet Explorer. How many of you guys are using Internet Explorer? Let me see everybody in Bethesda raise your hands, as if I can really see you. What we'd like to do now is I'd like to introduce my friend, Co-Sonic's ticket holder, co-worker, and master of the internet, Rob Bennett, who's going to share with us some of the features and functionality in Internet Explorer to show us how powerful and exciting it is.
Hey, Susie. Well, what I want to do is talk to you about how Internet Explorer brings you the web the way you want it. Now, for new users, that means just making the web a lot easier and being able to use the browser and email a lot quicker and faster.
Okay.
And for advanced users, it means giving me all the powerful tools of the internet and bringing them right to me instantly accessible.
Awesome.
So let's take a look at how we've made using the web easier and more simple.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
what's the biggest pain in the butt you have on the web today?
That's got to be searching.
Right. Searching. far
Searching.
above, really hard
Fuck
thing to
searching.
do. It's actually not that hard. It's just a pain.
Right, and so you have
Yeah.
to put it in quotes, or you have to know exactly what you're searching for, or random pages come up, or a billion pages come up if you look for, something simple.
Right, and you spend a lot of time going from that list of pages to some
don't remind
page,
me.
clicking back and forth, and you waste a lot of time. So in Internet Explorer 4, we introduced a new concept called Explorer bars.
Okay.
And one of the new Explorer bars is this search bar. So when I click the search button in Internet Explorer 4,
Right?
instead of going to my default search page,
Right.
what it does is it brings up on the left-hand side of the screen
Okay.
a search window. And I can come in here, and right now we're searching Yahoo, but I can search any
right.
search service I want. Let's search for Extreme, because that's the mode we're in. And instead of replacing all the content that we had from, in this case,
Right.
home, Microsoft.com, we have all our results, And I can come down and say, well, let's take a look at this one. Oh, that's really not the page that I wanted. I can just quickly come down here and go to another page. I never had to go back and forth between this list.
Do you like this? It's like a bookmark bar. Do you like this? Chat, do you want this? Is this going to make you get Microsoft?
So I can always get back
all
to
you
that
Linux,
list of
are you,
results.
all you Xenia foxes out there? Are you
I
going
know
to
you're a
make the
pretty
switch?
extreme person.
Yeah, you saw some of the things I was doing before.
Winter's coming up, you know. So I want to send you this page. I want to let you know about it.
Okay.
Now, the old way of doing this, I would send you a piece of mail and I type in, hey Susie, check out HTTP, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Well, now what I want to do is just send you this page.
Sounds like a good deal.
So I'll click the mail button, choose send page, and this will bring up
Hey,
Outlook
that
Express,
kicks
which is our
ass.
mail
I
client included in
hacked
Internet
Windows
Explorer
98
4.
beta.
And you'll see instead of just text with a URL, we actually have the HTML of this page right in our mail message.
That is so slick.
So you don't have to worry about launching a browser.
Right.
Everything you can see in the browser, you can see in email.
Awesome.
And now, one of the other things we've made really easy is I want to send this to you. I'll type in SU into the to line. As soon as I type in S, it recognizes that I've sent you mail before, and it automatically completes out the rest of your name for you.
I'm sorry, the autocomplete for the, that's so common now.
Fills out the rest of it for you, so you don't have to type the whole thing.
You're kidding me. That's awesome. Now, one of the questions I have about Outlook Express here and with this file is, so when I go up and I download my messages, as I often do, is it going to, am I going to be able to view this page offline?
You can view the page offline. What we'll do is we'll go grab all the graphics and everything and pull them down locally. And then when you're offline, you can work offline and see everything right there.
That is amazing. Excellent.
All right, so that shows you how we've made the web easier to use, a little more simple.
Right.
We have a couple of other Explorer bars that I just want to go through really quickly. The history bar, everybody knows going through your history is kind of a pain because there's all these URLs and graphics and all this stuff. If I want to get back to the Expedia page that I went to last Friday, for instance, I can't do that today.
No,
but now,
how many of you guys have ever tried to tootle around in your history folder and it's just general gobbledygook? It's really hard to manage through there and work your way through. In fact, I never do because it's just this mass of URLs.
Right, and you end up just going back to the main site and then figuring out your way down. Well, now with this history bar, again on the left-hand side of the screen, very consistent.
Oh my God!
You can see all the pages that I've been to today.
Yeah.
So here's the Expedia page.
Delightful,
here's,
delightful.
The AudioNet page and all the pages that I've been to.
Remember when
and
Microsoft
it's not listed by URL,
ran?
HTTP,
Does Microsoft still run
It's listed by
Expedia,
site.
or is
If I
that
wanna
an
see what
entirely
was on
different
Wednesday,
shebang right
Let's see
now?
where you are on Wednesday, Rob.
Or Thursday or Friday. There we go. We did
There
some
we
stuff
go.
on Friday. We can go to the Sidewalk site or Expedia, etc. So I can easily go back exactly wherever I've been to.
That's very, very slick.
Now the next thing I want to show you is how you can bring the web to you.
Okay.
And what that means is there's a lot of great content out there.
Right.
And I want to know
There
when it's
is a lot
changing.
of great
I wanna
content
know
out
when
there.
New content's available. I just generally am kind of an advanced user. I want to know what's out there and I want to get it delivered to me.
Same.
And for people like me, we have a new concept called channels. I'm going to bring this into our full screen mode so we can see the entire web right here without any other bars.
Okay.
But this channel bar lists all the channels. Now, channels are specialized content developed for Internet Explorer 4.
All right.
They use dynamic HTML, which is a technology we'll see in a second,
Okay.
and a lot of cool stuff to make very compelling information right on the screen. Let's look at, for instance, this site called Trip. Actually, let's look at Hollywood Online.
Okay.
Hollywood Online, first
Multimedia
you see
guide,
when
you got
I
me.
open up the Hollywood Online, it expands out the site for me on the left-hand side. I don't have to try to click through all these links and try to find my way down. If I want to go right to movies on TV, I can just click that link and get right there. So I can see the TV schedule.
Very nice. So basically, it gives you a site map right on the channel bar on the left-hand side, kind of like you'd hope you'd have on your TV so that you know when things are happening, where you want to go.
Exactly.
I like
So
that
don't
one
have
of
to
the
get lost
movie
on sites. I
tunes
can
is
navigate
just
the entire
called
site
Cool.
without ever waiting for the page to reload. It's a lot faster.
How manageable.
Now, let me show you a page that we've created just
All
for
right.
this event called the Extreme Channel.
How original.
Well, we try. So here is the Microsoft Extreme Channel. We're using dynamic HTML here. Dynamic HTML is just simple HTML that's made more fun, more engaging, more exciting, more interactive.
Simple HTML that's just made more fun.
HTML.
This is what I'm thinking. So we have dynamic HTML.
Okay.
It's not ActiveX. It's not Java.
No.
It's very fast.
Scripted into the page, right?
Scripted into the page. Comes down right with the HTML page. Now what I've got here is a dynamic HTML page. I'll scroll over some of these things on the left-hand side. You see they just kind of scroll out?
Yeah.
That's HTML.
So that's not an active control. It's not a job. No. Okay.
No controls.
Impressive.
This is the Extreme Games. Where GameWorks. It's
Does
extreme,
this kind of
Extreme
HTML
Games.
still exist?
So let's take a look at asteroids.
Okay.
So here we have asteroids right on our webpage.
Right,
Now the
right.
important thing here is.
Wait, asteroids right on our webpage.
Right. This is HTML.
I'm not sure how many they made of these videos,
not a
but I
list of
know that
HTML.
there's at
Not
least
ActiveX.
5 of them
This is
That is
HTML.
really
on
wow.
archive,
So now,
uploaded by
what I would
Blue
like to do,
Horizon
since this is
137.
Extreme Day, I want to actually play Extreme Asteroids. We're
Okay.
using scripting here. We've changed some of the parameters of the game a little bit for you, and I think you might like it.
Okay.
So we're gonna launch Extreme Asteroids here.
I think it did
And I'm
crash,
using
yeah.
Which keys here? J and K?
J, pretty much, just J.
All right. Oh my God. Oh, great. Thanks, Rob. Nice setup.
Well, we said it was, Extreme Asteroids.
And we're gonna go a little bit forward. Oh man, thank goodness I'm not about to die.
Yeah,
we also
she's
fixed
being
the
hit by all
reason
kinds of
because,
things,
it's
and there's
a
like no hit detection. That's
so,
cool.
Using dynamic HTML, we can create content that's very engaging, very quick to come down. This whole page is about 20K. It comes down in a matter of seconds.
Oh my God.
Okay,
All right, let's,
doing that in
let's close
20K
out
is
of
pretty
here.
cool.
We're looking at, right now, the active desktop.
That is an active desktop indeed. We have stuff
That is
actually
an
on there. So
ugly
it's more
active
like my
desktop.
desk at
I
work,
love it.
Where I have all of the stuff that I use and I don't have to go and open something else in order to use it.
Right. The active desktop is a feature only in Internet Explorer 4.
Okay.
We were going to call it the Extreme Desktop. All right, no, we weren't. But the active desktop lets you take any information you want that you care about and put it right on your desktop. It's instantly accessible. You don't have to launch a browser ever. You can get it right there. So the things I'm interested in today, we have the satellite and weather map. I can see exactly where the sun is right now. It looks like it's about over.
Is that the space shuttle?
That is a space shuttle.
And it's going overhead?
It's
I think
not our
people
head.
in Florida need to duck.
Right. The sun is over Texas right now.
Okay.
So it's about, I think, about noon there. And you can see the status of the space shuttle, of the
What's with
Mir,
Werner von
space
Braun?
station. Basically,
Wait,
anything
what's
that I
with
care
the
about, I can
Werner
have
von
that on my desktop.
Braun?
And this comes down live. We have the stock price, the
hey,
closing stock price.
hey,
Now, one of the coolest
Microsoft.
things is a
Microsoft,
control that was done
no,
by
go
a company
back.
called AudioNet.
Go back.
And what they've done is let me
Who's
put a CD
Werner
jukebox
von Braun?
right
Tell
on my
me,
desktop. So
tell
they
me
have
about
over
the.
1,600 CDs on the back end at their
Are we
site.
just gonna?
And I can use dynamic HTML in this thing right here,
Right.
little jukebox.
Okay.
And I can come down and say, well, I want to check out Jazz Big Band.
And it basically streams
I mean,
the
okay,
audio
yes,
down to
I
the
guess we're
CD,
just
right?
checking out
It
jazz.
lists now, there's a couple choices here. There's Hot Swingers is playing upstairs.
I
and then
see somebody's
Susie, your favorite.
Oh man.
Ethel Merman.
Rob is the best Ethel Merman impersonator in the world, besides Ethel, of course.
Right. Well,
Rob, you gonna?
We'll save
You
that
gonna?
for maybe the afternoon show.
Oh.
So you can see using dynamic HTML, using active desktop items and channels, I can get all the information that I need delivered right to my desktop, instantly accessible. So we make the web really easy to use for new users and people that are just getting up to speed.
Yeah,
with the web.
what's with
And
these-
we give power users the ability to take advantage
I want to
of
know
all the
about
greatness
this
of the web
this
and bring it right to them.
jukebox widget that just plays like
Rob,
random
thank you very
songs.
much.
Thanks, Susie.
I'm gonna go surf myself.
All right.
Now,
Mhm.
we as users are one constituency.
Hear any
for
noise in the
Internet Explorer
background?
4,
We're
but as Rob
having
mentioned, we have active
thunder
channels,
pretty
and we have
loudly,
many developers.
so
How many developers are working on active channel sites, Rob?
There are over 750 active channels available
Wow.
now in the Active
Wow.
Channel Guide that you can subscribe to today.
And some of them ship with the product. One of those that ships
See you,
with the product
Kaboom.
is,
Thanks
in
for
fact,
watching and thanks for
Livewire.
subbing.
Highly recommend that you check it out. And we're going to hear from them in a moment about their experiences with Internet Explorer 4 and really what they feel about the new development tools for it.
Oh God! Sorry, I got jump scared by comic books. Hey, y'all remember Wired magazine? It's back in extreme form.
Excited, enervated, confused.
The premise of Livewired is 20 seconds into the future.
Mind-shaking, eye-popping, interactive environment. A stream of super graphics. You know,
What was he doing on the
everything is going to
floor?
be transforming the way that we think of our space and
What
also
the
the way
hell?
that we think of our computers.
Wired
Aw,
has been trying to
I like
get
the
this
dog.
experience for a long time, and this is really the first time that we've been able to launch it and maintain something like this. We want to provide you with an experience. We want to find how we can.
I like
do
that
something
car.
That's a little bit more overwhelming than, say, looking at a little rectangle among a bunch of.
I like
other
that Lee
things
Iacocca.
sitting on your page.
I remember when our developer relations group representative from Microsoft came in and thought he might give us a demo of what Internet Explorer 4 would be able to do. We actually threw him a copy of Mind Grenades, which was a book collecting all of our wired intro art and special ink and special paper in a giant size, and said,
Yeah, Doggy Mick is
"Can we make the
unfortunately
web
not
do this?"
here.
We've used
Yeah, Lee Iacocca is having a moment. I'm telling you, yeah, multiple people talking about Lee having a moment. It's so interesting.
in order to take up the entire screen and give people something that's going to impact them in a way that they didn't think was possible on the web.
Eric's always pushing the boundaries. Every time we give him here's what you can do, and IE4 is like, well, why can't we do this?
For once, what you get when you engage into your desktop is a full screen experience, and something that is really dynamic and something that is also very visually stimulating.
I liked where it said American Boys. I want to go back to that.
You know, there's some walls where we're like, oh, wait a minute, it opens out on this way. So we'll walk down there and like, oh, okay, oh, there's still some more space to go.
American Boys.
Moving forward, and we haven't found that back wall yet, but our goal is to, is to find it.
Welcome back. And LiveWired, again, a great active channel. Now, what if you want to develop your own websites like I just did in that short little period of time, and I'm going to be doing a little bit later? One of the greatest tools available today is something called Microsoft Front Page, and I'd like to introduce Amanda Jordan, one of my co-surfers and co-web developers, who's going to be sharing with us all about Front Page 98 and how it can help you really take control and get a lot of power out of Internet Explorer 4.0 to develop your own page, your small business page, your large business page, both developing.
Hey, I never developed in Front Page. I only developed with
Page is really all about is taking
Creative Writer 2,
out there right now, such as
which
Internet
was
Explorer
probably
support.
just Front
So
Page
what we've
with
done is we've
the
tried to give you some
kids
tools to
vibe
help
or
you
whatever.
create as well as manage an entire website nice and easily.
Excellent.
So here we have in front of you the Front Page Explorer, which is one of the main components that we have.
Mhm.
And one of the things that you can do here very easily is go ahead and check out all of your site in a number of different views.
Excellent. This looks a lot like sort of a cross between the Explorer and the Outlook bar from Office.
That's
and
right.
from
What
Windows.
we tried to do is really integrate
Arcadia
a lot of the
Bay.
features and
That
functionality
sounds
a lot of
like-
people are used to using.
Isn't
and really
that
give
where
them
all
an
the
easy way
horny
of
stuff
finding the
happens
things
in
that they're looking
Arcadia?
for to
Sorry,
help them
sorry.
manage very easily.
Fantastic.
So here I'm in the folders view, and one of the things I can do is just work just as I do is Windows Explorer. So if I want to just go ahead and say rename a page, I can go ahead and just get rid of the 3 there. And when I hit the enter bar, what Front Page will do is go through your entire website and check out all of your links to see if you're going to break links if I rename this page. So that I can go ahead and just click yes and go ahead and update that link. Will automatically update it in all the links across your site for you.
Okay, my Neopet shop, I don't know what music I played, but I did have the Totoro theme on one of my old websites.
It's not there. And one of the frustrating things is for people who are developing their websites, you're breaking links all the time. Front Page helps you not do that very easily.
That is awesome.
One of the other views I'm going to show you here is a brand new view called the Navigation View for Front Page 98. And this helps you to map out your entire website or plan it out and organize it as you would like to, just when you're just getting started, or very easily drag in pages that you already have. So here I can click on the home page icon, come up here and click new page as many times as I want.
This
I
is
can move
twine
that
to
around
me.
and change that a little bit. I can also drag up pages from my current site here. So I can go, and let's say I want to drag up my sale page and my store page. So I'll go ahead and link that there. And maybe my outdoor life page. So I can link those to as many pages as I like. And I'm just building the navigational structure. And you'll see how this works. What we've tried to do is go ahead and enable you to automatically generate some content. So this will help you to generate automatic nav bars, page banners, different types of things across your website.
Nice.
So let me go ahead and show you. I'll double click on the
that.
home page and just bring up this home page right now in the Front Page editor. And you'll see here we've got our automatic banner, we've got our automatic navigation bars.
Very Romanesque site,
Very
Amanda.
Romanesque site. And since you mentioned that, another thing
I want to
we've
know
added to Front
about
Page is the ability to
Arcadia
change
Business
or
Strategy.
apply a theme, a graphical
No,
template
click on
across
Arcadia
all the
Business
pages of your
Strategy.
site. So you can change the looks of all of your navigation bars, your banners, your buttons, your text all across your site really easily.
That
so
is
here,
amazing.
we have a format theme, and you can get to the same view in the Front Page Explorer. And here you can see our Romanesque theme comes up since that's the one that's on the page. We also have different types of themes.
For the bit heads among us.
That's right. So here's
For the bit
nature
heads
theme. So
among
go ahead and
us.
apply that one.
Apply the
so you can
nature theme.
apply a new theme to all the pages or just separate pages of your site, and you can see how radically it changes the look of this page.
That is amazing. So in the past, where you could go and just update your background, now you can update not just your background, but also your nav bars, your fonts, your formatting, everything within the site. Like
One
that,
of my
does that affect all of the
I
pages
like
on
the
your site?
idea about a
Let
fan
me
page
show
for
you
the
how you can
scrubbing
very easily
bubbles.
manipulate this. So this all ties back in with the navigation
God.
view, so I'll just click back on that. You can see here, I can really
I
easily
had a
just
web
delete
page
this
making
page,
fun
my
of the
new page
movie
one,
Warriors of
and just remove it from my
Virtue,
nav
which
bars,
if you don't remember,
and just say okay, and let's go ahead and
was
just change the
like
title of this to say Arcadia here.
Okay.
And when I double click on
Thank
the
you,
page again,
Cheeseburger
you can
Cats,
see when it pulls this page back
for
up
the
in
follow.
front page
Appreciate
editor,
that.
We'll automatically make those changes for you on your page banners, on your navigation buttons, so you don't have to worry.
Yeah, that
about
was when
taking
I
this
was
into
in
an
middle
image
schools
editor,
when I
trying
made
to
that
change the text on top of
Warriors
that.
of
We do it all for you
Virtue.
right
So
on
it
the front
nuked the
page.
new
I
page
guess it
that
would
you
be
didn't
an
want to work on.
anti-fan
And
page,
now
like
it's changed the home page name
a
to
hate
Arcadia.
page, but
That's
I don't
right.
like saying the
Outstanding.
phrase
One of
hate
the other
page. That's
great
not what I
new
really,
features that
was
we've
going
added with
for.
Front Page 98
But
is Front Page 97, we
God,
enabled
that was
you
a
to
while
input tables
back.
real easily. We have a little table
It's on
drop-down menu
GeoCities.
here. But now in Front Page 98,
Yeah,
what
Warriors
we've
of
done is
Virtue.
enabled you to
I need to
manipulate
watch it
tables
again.
using
I heard it was
style
really
right here
boring,
on
but
the
you know.
page in the Front Page editor. So here I can just grab my table cell. I have a really small little table here. I can drag that around. We also have a table drawing tool that enables me to go in and real simply just drag and draw some
That
table
is
cells.
So
Good
amazing.
tables.
Now, if any of you guys who have ever done
Bring tables
HTML
back
editing
to
set up
HTML, I
your
say,
tables,
wanting
you
to
know
make it
how
even
absolutely
worse.
painstaking it is to develop a table and to put content into that tables. Now, actually, I'm a big Office user, Office 97 user, and that's the table drawing tool that's
right.
in Office 97, so that they're a lot more interoperable. That you can have actually both vertical as well as horizontal cell merge in your table.
That's right.
That's
And what
awesome.
we've tried to do is really
Vertical
closely,
and
you can see here,
horizontal
we can
cell
also erase the
merge.
cells,
Take
is
that.
really integrate with all of the components or all the applications that you already know that Microsoft provides. So Word, all different types of Office applications. You can real easily get your content right here in Front Page. So what I'll do now is let me just go ahead and show you how to insert an image. What we've done is we've
The
given you now
problem
a
with the
great area
Warriors
to
of
insert
Virtue
images
Tank
as
Girl
well
double
as preview your
feature
images
is
right
that
there. So I can just
Tank
go
Girl
ahead
is
and-
so much better than
Okay, so let's
Warriors
pull
of
it on the page and
Virtue.
I'll change it for you
So,
right here.
so maybe it makes sense.
So let me
Like
go
your
ahead
reward
here
for having
and
sat
switch
through
that up a
Warriors
little
of
bit.
Virtue
You
was
can see
Tank
when I
Girl,
click
like
on
a
the
decent
image,
movie.
You actually activate an image toolbar here.
You're
And
not
what I can do
finding
here is
the
say,
fall
"I wanna get rid
sweater
of my pixels
sale
that you don't like that."
website to
I have a
be
little make
extreme
transparent
enough.
one. I can just click on that. and
Don't
click
worry,
on the
they
picture
have
that
other
I- or the
things,
color that I
but
want
yeah,
to make
it's
transparent.
it is
And I'll just
pretty
make that
funny that it
transparent
is called
image.
Microsoft
Very
Extreme, and
well.
from
No
what I
longer
can see for most of them,
It's a lot better
it
looking
is
this
not
thing.
extreme.
Another
I don't
feature that we've
find
always
very
had in
many
Front Page is
things
the
as
ability to real
extreme
easily
as
create
one of those
hotspots
helper
or,
agents.
clickable image maps on top of your images. So here I can just click on one of the tools and come and just draw over an area of my image that I want to be a clickable image map. I can just then choose the page I want to link that to in my website. So I'll choose my sale page.
I want to
and say,
hear what
okay.
they're.
And now I've got an image map that I can move around on my image. I can reposition it or resize it. I don't have to go into the HTML.
Okay, the
And we're
image
just
map
creating
thing is pretty
standard
cool. I
HTML
still like
behind the
image
scenes for
maps,
everything
but
that
I
you're
don't know
seeing
if
that I
they
draw
still
and
do them
drag on the
anymore.
page here.
So you're not choosing, okay, I want it to be this many pixels wide by this
Not
many
at all.
pixels high, setting it up so that you have your image map. You just like drew out the square and boom, you have a
That's
clickable
right,
hotspot.
and it's editable too, so I can come here and I can change the size of it if I want to do that real easily.
That's awesome.
What's great about Front Page is you also can choose to now just follow that hyperlink that I just created to the page that it linked to right in my website.
Is that in my honor?
That's in your honor. The Extreme Holiday Sale, Bikes, Blades,
I
and
also
Boards.
thought she said
So
edible.
here, what I've tried to do is give you a sort of a layout of a page, but it isn't quite an active page yet. So I want to show you some tie-ins with what we were just talking about in the previous demo with Internet Explorer and some dynamic HTML features.
Outstanding.
One of the things that Front Page has enabled you to do is do things like
You like
text
this extreme
animation,
holiday sale
page
for bikes,
transitions,
blades,
without
and
you
boards?
having to actually know dynamic HTML.
Oh,
or
you're right. The
HTML in
image
any
maps
way.
won't
So
work
here
well
I
for
can
variable
learn again.
aspect
Never
ratios.
mind. So what
Okay,
I can do is I
okay.
can real easily select some text and just choose to format that text as an animation, for instance. So here I'll have it, let's say, spiral in on the page.
Okay.
One of the nice
Yeah,
things
show
about
me.
Front Page too is you now have the ability to not only create it WYSIWYG style, but also preview it WYSIWYG style. So you can see that change is automatically taken in. You can see it swirl into the page. That is instant gratification for what you're creating.
That is amazing. So people will be able to
good.
make dynamic pages
That's
without
good.
having to go in and do dynamic HTML editing and scripting themselves. Not that that's a hard thing to do. We'll ask Rob for lessons on that later. But you can do it just as easily as, for example, choosing an animation in PowerPoint or one of the other applications.
That's right.
You're just choosing an option. That is amazing.
That's right. One of the things, let me scroll down here. We have a little scrolling marquee. We enable you to add in all different types of text and images as well
The day
as active
they got rid
elements.
of the
So
marquee
scrolling marquee is
tag
one of
was
them,
the
as well as
day
cover
I
buttons.
died
You can
inside.
see here our little buttons here
Active
are
images.
active. So
That
here
is
we have a
outstanding.
little thing that points us to our outdoor sporting club. So let me go ahead and bring up Internet Explorer 4.0 with our sporting club page that
Okay.
we created in Front Page.
All right.
And you can see this is a frames page. I can manipulate this in Internet Explorer if I want. But one of the great
If you
new
listen,
features
you
that
can
front
hear
page
air
enables
hockey
you
in the
to do Is
background.
just click on the Explorer or Internet Explorer's edit button, and we'll automatically launch that page in front page for you.
Slick, so I don't have to go from.
I wanna know more
one
about the air
machine that
hockey being
has
played.
that has the browser up to the
Right.
other machine in which I'm editing, and then save the editing file, and then
That's
go
right.
back. Wow. Okay.
So this is a great situation where I can now go ahead and edit this right now in front page. Before in front page, been able to build frames. Now you can edit them right here in the front page editor. So if I wanted to drag out this, I could do that real easily. I
Very
could also
slick.
go down here to the bottom of this page. Let's say I wanted to create a brand new frame. I can just click up and drag and create a
It's that
brand new
easy
frame.
to insert a new frame.
Yep, so here I can just choose to set a page that I want to show up in this new frame. Let's choose my footer, and it'll just go ahead and show up there.
And there you have that.
There
oh
you have
my
it.
goodness.
It's a great feature.
I'm glad. I figured
available
you could
now.
use
Yep, it is
CSS to do
available now.
marquee,
Yep,
but
we
I miss the
also
old
have
days.
a
But
beta
that's
that
me
you can
being
download off of our
nostalgia
website,
pilled.
and we'll actually be in stores within the next 2 weeks or so.
That's amazing.
We also support things like channels, so you can create active channels that show up on your desktop, for instance. So here I can go to my active desktop. Here's a channel we've already placed there for our sale page.
That is amazing.
So we have a little channel wizard. So we fully support all the Internet Explorer 4.0 features and a lot of the great functionality there.
That is great. You know, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go do my website right now. I'll be right back.
She's gonna do her website right now. This is definitely music you listen to when you make websites. Sorry, this music is good. I'm jamming over here. I keep forgetting no one can see me. And Danny's not here to tell you what I'm doing, so I actually have to describe it to y'all. I like the extreme clock.
Okay, so maybe my website's not quite done yet, but it will be someday. Although inherently slackerly.
I
don't know
like
if I'm
that
gonna
you
get
could
it
tell
done
this was one
this
take because
millennium.
they keep making mistakes, and
Now
I
moving
really
on to
like
a whole
that.
different area. How many of you guys have photographs sitting in boxes under your bed, in your closet? Maybe that you've even sent to family and friends. If you're anything like me, you have far too many of those. And I think it's about time that you all join me in the digital age, not only with digital imaging, but also with digital greeting cards, creative communications, as I'd like to say. I'd like
Yeah,
to
I
meet my
really
friend, my
like
coworker,
that
my
she's
blah, blah,
trying
blah,
to jazz
Deborah
up
Rappaport, who's
things
gonna
like,
share
you know,
with us Picture It and Greetings Workshop.
picture
Some of the
image
hottest
and
new
image
products available
digitization.
today to help you with that creative side. Deb?
Thanks a lot, Susie. I'm very happy to be here today. I want to start off with Picture It. Picture It has really revolutionized photo editing. It makes it fast and easy for anyone to do very powerful photo editing and then create the kind of output that you're used to seeing from your photo developer, that really high quality output. So let's go ahead, and the first thing we need to do is get our photos into our computer. If you don't mind,
Oh my God, I'm sorry. That child is kind of, I'm sorry to say this about a child. That child scared me. That was a frightening looking child. If I saw that child in the dark, I would scream. I'm sorry.
What we're going to do at this point is just plug our digital camera right into the back of our PC.
Now, do I need to have a digital camera?
They could have gotten a better photo of that child. That was unfair to that child.
Onto a CD or onto a floppy disk, or you can get your film now developed right onto the web. So let's go ahead and go into Picture It. I want to give you a quick tour of the program. Picture It's interface simplifies photo editing. So they've separated our editing tasks like Fix Scratch and Fix Red Eye from our projects like collages,
I do like the touch-ups,
cards,
but
etc.
like, you know.
Now down here, this is where you have all your files open, just like you have
I
your files
love
open in
the
a Word
screaming
document.
of the
This
arcade
lets
in
you
the
zoom in
background.
and out,
That's
and
so
these are
good.
the photos that you can combine into one collage. Let's go ahead and get that picture.
Okay.
What do you
I
do?
go to my
What do
digital
you want to do
camera,
with this child?
and we're just going to download it instantly right from the digital camera.
Okay, I like that you could do that.
Now, Deb, a lot of the people who are watching today are power computer users, propeller heads, as I called them fondly before. Now, are they going to have
okay.
the same sort of power use of their digital cameras or their digital editing, or getting pictures online. I mean, this is going to make them into power photographers too, isn't it?
Exactly. The whole idea behind Picture It, you don't have to be a photographer to get great looking photos. We're going to help you
Propeller
out.
heads.
There's the photo I just took. It looks great.
It's a lot of help, Deb.
Let's go and do something. We'll go back to that photo if you don't mind.
Back to Demon Child.
Here we go. Obviously, I'm no photographer, as you can tell. Let's go ahead and touch up this red eye.
Yeah.
Touch up, fix red eye. What you do here is click on each of the eyes and then just hit the Smart Task Fix. And literally in a couple of seconds, the red eye will disappear.
That is amazing. Now, I know
It looks terrible.
nobody out there has ever taken a picture that has red eye, right?
Now I'm going to cancel out of here. You'll see me go back to red eye. And let's go ahead and fix up this photo.
It looks better with the red eye.
Okay.
This guy has some problems. I think you probably think I'm going to go and find the auto hair tool. But no, instead what I'd like to do is fix this scratch that's on his head. So I will zoom in.
So once the pictures have been under your bed, in your closet for a long time, they've gotten beaten up, bruised, abused, scratched, etc., you can now fix that.
Exactly. So I just drag and drop the fix scratch, and the scratch disappears. And I can do it again for this long, skinnier scratch. Isn't that amazing?
That is so
Okay, that is
Again,
pretty
I'll hit
impressive.
cancel and the scratch will
1997.
come back so you
Okay.
can see the before and after. Now, the cool thing about that feature is you can have a lot of fun with it. For example, I actually removed a nose ring from a friend's photo that I have.
A friend,
You can remove a tattoo. You can remove a lot of things. Here, what I'd like to do is
You don't
tuck
need to
in my
remove the
friend's
nose ring.
shirt.
Keep
This
it
guy's
in.
actually on the Picture It team.
I think it's about time that we tell your parents who are watching from Utah about Deb's nose ring.
She was literally tucking in that
can't handle
guy's
the
shirt.
heels, but
That's so
anyway.
strange.
I just tucked in his shirt, and we're all set. We fixed up
Don't
that
tuck
photo.
in my shirt.
Now let's.
It
have
looked
some
bad,
fun by going
too.
Back to the photo we took of you before. What I want to do, if you don't mind, is cut out your head.
Cut off her head.
And make you into a beauty queen.
You mean I'm not already, Deb? Aw, shucks.
And what I'm doing here is just clicking around the outside of your head.
Don't everybody laugh too hard. Thank you very much.
That's not that bad of a
Okay,
magic
I'm
wand
just clicking
tool.
around the outside of your head, and the tool is automatically snapping to your face.
Snap, snap.
And I can go in and do a little adjustment, but actually the automatic tool did a great job here. So I'll go ahead and I'll cut that out.
Okay.
Again, making it really easy for people to be creative.
Deb, please continue.
And we'll just drag and drop that head right onto the beauty queen.
You're making me feel like I'm at home. I'm from Atlantic City, home of the Miss America pageant.
See, you're a natural here. All right. So
yeah,
we'll go ahead. We can rotate your head 360 degrees,
bring
make
back
it
Damien.
dance.
It looks
I
great.
can resize
Looks
it.
great.
For this purpose, I'll make it a little
Wow.
bit smaller.
Thank you.
And we'll bring in your little partner here.
Ah.
A handsome fellow. Now is where we
You
can
should
have some real
probably
fun. Kids
adjust the
love this next
contrast,
feature. This
but
is our
that's-
distort feature.
Okay.
It lets you really, really have some fun with your photos. What I'm going to do here is actually just make his muscles a lot bigger.
Oh, he's been
Can you
working
see
out.
that?
Oh, yeah.
I can make his muscles bigger here, here. You can distort in many ways. I can give him a little bit more of a cinched waist.
Oh.
It can even get kind of gruesome.
Oh, we don't.
Don't get
So now
gruesome.
we've done a lot of fun editing things, and now's the time you really want to get into the creative part. So you can, for example, create collages, create cards, even business cards and flyers, create calendars. Here you can link to Greetings Workshop. And speaking of Greetings Workshop, I'd like to show you the latest and greatest thing in that product, which is multimedia greetings.
Okay.
Multimedia greetings. Okay, here we go.
Because they're so revolutionary. I want
I like
to
the
show
dog.
you what they are right up front. We're going to create an invitation.
I'm an
I know your
agent.
birthday is coming up, actually.
Actually, it's Eric's. It's my husband's birthday, so I'd like to wish him a happy birthday very quickly. Happy birthday, Eric.
Happy birthday, Eric. Let's
Happy
create an
birthday, Eric.
invitation. And as this is coming up, I want to talk to you about greeting cards and Greetings Workshop. We'll just play this in the background. You know, greeting cards, you can send them in, you can send them via snail mail, but this is kind of the hippest, newest way to send them. You can send them
hippest, newest
via
way
email.
to
It's
send
just
cards.
A self-extracting Exe. You don't need Greetings Workshop in order to view them. You can actually save them. This is
I love
a fun
when she
one.
does that.
You can actually save them to a floppy disk and send them snail mail. Or a really cool thing you can do is actually post them to the Greetings Workshop.
Thank you,
post
Bomb
office on
Jack,
the
for the
web,
follow.
And then send the URL out to everybody, and they can
That is awesome.
go there and view it.
Now, you sure this invitation is okay for kids to see?
What the?
It's cute.
There you go.
It's the other great thing about
Okay.
Games Workshop is you can completely customize
The
it.
ass
So you can
card,
change the
apparently.
text. We could put Susie here instead of Bruce. You can add 15,000 different graphics. There are 12,000 ready-made projects. So it's really a really fun product, and all with the quality of Hallmark.
That
all
is
the
amazing.
messages.
You're kidding me.
No, all of the
quality of
all
Hallmark.
the great all the great
awesome.
animations that
So
you get
all
from
of,
Hallmark.
all of the skills of the Hallmark artists, not just Deb Rappaport sitting down, kind of touching some things up. That's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
So for all of you guys who have been sort of in the dark ages with your greeting cards as well as your photos, these are incredible products. Now, Picture It is available in a trial version, right?
It is. Actually, you can download the trial version from the Microsoft website for free. It's a 30-day trial version. So that's a great way to try out the new world of digital imaging.
So just to clarify,
The new world of digital imaging. I never tried I never tried any Microsoft digital imaging stuff aside from obviously MS Paint. I was into Paint Shop Pro.
Check out the website. You can see a picture of the box, and on that you have my nephews. This is Greetings Workshop Deluxe, and they're available today in stores as well as the Picture It trial version being online. Now, Deborah, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Deborah.
With the digital camera, you're seeing the beginning of our digital convergence, entering the digital age. And what I'd like to do now is to have one of our executive VPs share with you Microsoft's vision of the future and this digital convergence.
Hello? Okay. Moesha.
The future of television is a lot different than just thinking about better pictures.
Yeah.
You have to make programming that appeals to this younger generation that knows how to interact with their entertainment.
This technology is really going to change the way news and information is delivered to people.
Interactive TV.
Experience. You've already got the video signal, you've already produced the web content, why not merge the two?
They keep trying to do this.
What this offers
The merging of web content and TV.
So you can still veg out and watch the enhancements, and then if there's
But
something
you know,
to click on,
it's like when they try to do the second screen thing. It just people don't really want everything all combined. Remember Pacific? Hold on, I'm going to stop what I was saying. I'm looking at Pacific Blue now.
love to channel surf.
My God, Pacific Blue.
Now they'll be able to channel surf within the show.
Did you see that they were watching Silk Stockings? It's by the makers of the Hat Squad.
One of his dreams. Shopping.
It's all the show.
The possibilities are endless. There's no rules.
I think we got Hale outside. Crazy.
When you bring video and data together, we think there's a great business opportunity for the broadcast community to create many new forms of television programming and the ability to deliver
Dry ice question.
video in its origin.
I get it. I don't want to answer questions about the show when I'm watching the show.
Whenever a set of industries come together and recognize that there's a major new
There's
business
Emerald.
opportunity, there's always the question for every company: do you lead, follow, or just get out of the way?
This is a lot like when color television first came out.
One of the
People's
shows was
viewing
Savage
patterns actually
Dragon.
changed. We expect the same thing to happen here. People will want to watch these enhanced shows or these different forms of content, and if you're not doing this, you may be left behind.
From a technological perspective, the road is clear. We know how to get there. From an audience perspective, the road is an imperative. We simply have to make this.
Put your glasses on normal.
Convergence is a reality.
Don't
It's time to
keep.
start making
dip-
Welcome back. Digital convergence, some amazing stuff. We have an incredible vision within Microsoft of what the future home will be like. I'd like to introduce David Jaffe, co-visionary, fellow co-worker, who's going to share with us
Hey, it's
some
David
of what
Jaffe.
the prototypes are that we're looking at to really model what the future home will be like. Dave?
Susie, imagine, if you will, the future where digital convergence is prevalent in the here and now, where devices such as your telephone, your personal computer, and your TV are interconnected, where you may be able to answer the phone.
Different David Jaffe. Okay.
Browse the web on
Okay,
your phone.
good. Thank you.
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be outstanding.
Let me show you a prototype of how Microsoft, demonstrating how Microsoft envisions the future technology in the home environment and how they could make your family life more fun and more productive.
Let's see.
Great. So what we have here is our kitchen.
Now, is that your
Nice
artwork?
kitchen.
Did you do
Yes,
that?
yes. I
Dave
spent
Jaffe
all
AIDS.
morning working on this. So what we have here is our phone.
Okay.
But this is not an ordinary phone. This is a web-enabled phone. In fact, it has an active
Hey,
desktop,
I know about
just
web-enabled
like you saw on
phones.
Internet Explorer 4.0.
Staring at one right
One
now.
sec, Dave. Now, help me understand. Is this a product that we're planning on shipping?
Well, no, Susie. This is actually a prototype of future technology.
Okay.
In fact, Microsoft spent over $2.5 billion last year in research.
Yeah,
and
it was really funny
development.
that
And
it did
I
have
know that
spam
you
on
work
it
in the
already.
Desktop Applications Division, and one of those technologies that came out of the Research and Development Group was natural language.
Oh, the stuff that's used for the answer wizard as well as the grammar
Thank you,
checker,
Stranger
right?
P, for the
Okay,
follow.
Actually, you know what? This reminds me. I have a friend who works in the prototype group that's funded from the $2.5 billion. Not all of it, mind you. Suze Wolf, she's great, and her sole job is to create these types of prototypes so that we can have a better vision that we supply to the product group so that they can develop products that, in fact, answer and provide solutions for how we envision the home in the future to be.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me let you keep going
So
here.
on this web-enabled phone, you see him getting information sent
Yeah.
down to me. And it wouldn't be great. We spend so much time in the family room and in the kitchen. Wouldn't it be great if we can distill all
Try
the information
tray
that's in the
research.
Yellow Pages and pick and choose what's important to us, whether it's the school.
I love that. I want to know
it's,
more about the
financial
bank loans.
information, It's classified information.
Do you
We
like?
can be
I
better
love
aware
these
of the
ads
community.
everywhere
That's
for
what
the
I'm getting-
wine
that's what I'm
cell.
seeing right
Look
here.
at all these
If there
ads.
were good weather today, I'd be hiking instead of doing this gig.
But this scenario here is we're a family, and I'm actually the husband. I'm cooking dinner for Jesse's birthday tonight, and Jesse's one of my children. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the mailbox, which I can actually access my mailbox on my phone. And this is an example of how in the future I can have a central hub and possibly my personal computer in my family room that's storing all the information about my home, about my environment, and my messages, for example. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the family messages, and we can see we've got a message here from Alex, she's grandma. She wants to remind us
Grandma.
we need to call her at 7:30 so she can wish Jesse a happy birthday.
Very
So all we're going to do is we're going to drag that and drop it right on our calendar. We're going to get
There's the
reminded
genie.
by the Microsoft Genie. And you'll see the Genie come up in multiple devices in the home of the future, like the TV or the
So it's
personal
like
computer.
having an assistant or a butler or something at home. Very slick.
And I may be
Very
able
slick.
to customize that assistant to
The
different
Genie
voices and
agent.
different information.
That's outstanding.
So we can see the cake's ready to be picked up, but I forgot the cake. So what I'm going to do is use my web-enabled phone here and dial up my wife. And in the future, we may have multiple places we want to reach. And here's an example of the priority order. So you can try the office first.
So it takes into consideration. So what we're looking at is a world in which people are very highly connected.
That's right. So,
here's her voice.
Unfortunately, that world is now, and it sucks.
Please record your message. When you have finished recording, please hang up. Or
God, you're right. Bonzi Buddy is a.
We're going to dial up the cell phone.
I don't want to think.
That's busy, so what we'll
Bonzi.
do is, the last resort here is the pager. So let's leave the
Bonzi
message on
Buddy,
the
you are
pager.
an agent of evil.
All right, okay.
Welcome to the system. Please press the pound key after each entry.
Okay, Chris.
The
your
rat was
husband's
called
a slacker.
Scuzz, I
Didn't
think.
pick up, nor did he bake the cake. You have to get it yourself. Sorry.
Well, there's still time. One of the things I may also be able to do, because all my devices are connected, I may be able to control my environment in my house. Now, how many phones do you have in your house?
I have about 4 or 5, I think.
So if, let's say, you're having a nice, quiet dinner. In fact, tonight we're going to have a birthday dinner between 6 and 7. You don't want to be interrupted. What would you have to do today?
We'd have to go around to each of the phones and turn them off, turn the ringers off, and make sure that when we finish our dinner, that we turn them back on again.
That's right. Well, in the future, we may not have to do that. We can go into a control panel.
Mhm.
We could say, for all locations, I want to turn off ring notification between 6 and 7 p.m.
That is awesome because, again, we're envisioning that in the future, your devices will be interconnected. They'd be managed through a central hub. That is outstanding.
So we'll do that right now. And we can see that now there's a caller ID on the phone. That's something we can do today. And this happens to be a message for Cassidy, one of the children. But in the future, you may see caller ID on other devices. And here we are in the family room.
Very
I love that living room render. Oh my God, that's so CG. That's so CDI.
And see, we're getting caller ID on our television.
What show are you watching? What are they watching? What were they watching?
Excellent, excellent. So, for example, if the kids are,
What show is being interrupted?
they'd have the message.
Also, Cassidy Smith, you need to answer your phone.
Answer that phone call now.
That is amazing stuff. Dave, thank you for providing us with this amazing taste of the future of the digital convergence.
Great. Well,
answer
you're
Chris's
welcome.
phone.
I've got to go back and finish up the birthday dinner.
Okay, well, you do that. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. Thank you very much.
Game works. Game works. Game works. You know, that's not a bad idea. I do like making homes in those old like make your old home like CD-ROMs. I also miss GameWorks. Let's go to Guatemala. Trip Planner 98. Trip Planner 98. Trip planning is so great with Trip Planner 98. I like the song.
Welcome back. I'd like to say a quick hello not only to my mother and my father, mom in Pinellas Park, dad in New York City, but I'd like to just say hello to those folks in Sacramento. We have over 400 people hanging out there watching the show. Hello.
Hi, Sacramento.
Well, John, welcome back. Along with the digital convergence that you're seeing among the devices in your home, you're also seeing today the digital convergence of things that you might do. For example, planning travel, going and visiting various cities. One of my favorite websites is something called Expedia.com that allows me to go plan my travel, learn about where I'm traveling, and do really a lot more.
They promote Expedia so much.
John, will you share with us
so much in the special?
Expedia is a very cool site, and there are a lot of reasons.
Expedia is a very cool site.
Maybe you're
I mean, what else can you say?
Heading somewhere across the country.
Let's go visit my dad and my sister in New York City for New Year's.
New York City's good. Let me show you one thing here quick. We actually have a monthly magazine, just like maybe you'd get from a travel agent. With this monthly magazine, you're able to find out information about things that are happening around the world, whether it be something locally or maybe Bryce Canyon here.
Been there?
Click on this here. This is very cool. We have this 360-degree view. So you can look up or down or turn around and look over the edge of the cliff.
You can get seasick without even being on a boat.
Exactly, and if you're afraid of heights,
that is pretty impressive. I really do like 3D
Anyway, we'll go back to
pictures like that.
If you
That's
wanted
cool.
if you wanted to book a flight, you found a place, New York City. It's very simple to do. We've included incredible technology that makes it really simple, so you don't have to work through a complicated system like travel agents do. Let's click on the Flight Wizard here.
So it gives you flight flexibility.
Yeah, 360 photography in VR is really cool.
Let's just type in the name of
I feel like a dope being impressed by it, but it's cool. I enjoy it.
New York City we want to go to. Let's pick a date here. We'll choose, I don't know, towards the end of December, maybe the 18th.
Okay.
And we'll come back a little bit after New Year's, so maybe on the
Wow, we're spending a lot of time away.
That way we can see the ball dropping down there.
That's an expensive
We're gonna have
trip.
a good time in New York City.
Good.
Now when I click continue, this is going out to the same database that travel agents use.
You're kidding
So
me.
this is pretty incredible. This gives you all the flight information, all the connections. It keeps track of everything that a travel agent could keep track of.
Am I getting some special surcharge or anything for being in control of things myself?
Absolutely not. This is, you would get the exact same fare you would if you booked this through a travel agent.
And how much do I get
free
charged?
service.
Oh, so I don't get charged for using Expedia?
Not at all. Nope, that is free, and you can find it on the web at www.expedia.com.
Very
simple to find.
Just check it out on the web, www.expedia.com.
Not a bad price
That's
for
a
New
really
York
good
City.
price.
Here's Delta Airlines. I'm a frequent flyer with them. If we click on choose and continue now, we'll go through the rest of the reservation process. In fact, we can see here all the restrictions that come up, the exact costs, all the connections, and
Travel agents do still exist, so it must be a viable job. They are just fewer and far between.
Tell you what, let's click on this button now that will let us actually pick our seat online.
Oh my God.
Look at this. We got some empty seats here. This one looks pretty good right on the aisle. We click on that and go ahead and reserve it, and that's all we need to do to reserve our flight.
Does it have a special thing where you can block out the seat behind you from kicking children?
You could. You could bring your Barney along.
Oh, there you go. That'll get a lot of people to move away
You'd have some
from
people
me.
kicking on purpose, maybe. So what do you do once you've booked your flight, you're all ready to go, you're going to head out to New York
Barney
City?
is human repellent. I enjoy that.
Call my sister?
There's a good idea. Do you have her number? I'll call her here. No, maybe not.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I'm going to click on New York Sidewalk here. Sidewalk is a free service also from Microsoft. It's in 7 cities today, and we're planning more as time goes on. So more and more cities are coming online. Sidewalk lets you experience the city, in this case New York, as a local would. So for example, we can look at all the restaurants that are in town and those that have been reviewed. Let's take a look at one of these restaurants here, maybe Empire Diner. It looks like it's just recently been
Nice.
reviewed.
Seattle has good food, but you know, I frankly miss the East Coast diners.
I agree.
They were wastrel. We actually saw a
take a
whole
look at
thing
this.
about
They actually
that
have a
Barney
menu
toy
online,
earlier in the
so you can find out
special. Yeah,
exactly what,
it was
things
called
they have.
Actimates,
If you're lost, you
and
don't know where you are because maybe you're a visitor or you live there.
I
we
was
actually
impressed
have
with
these
it.
online maps that we have through Expedia.com.
That again allow you to zoom in and zoom out and move around. That is amazing.
And finally, you might want to take a look at things that are happening like arts and music or places to go. So we have all kinds of events here that you can find out about, and it's all online. We have a full editorial staff in New York that keeps track of all these things that are happening.
That is incredible. How rich.
It
so
is.
that when I go there, I don't have to worry about, okay, when do various shows start? I know that they're happening.
Exactly.
That is incredible stuff.
So tell you what, I'm going to book my flight here to Salt Lake City. I've got my family there. Hey, how you doing? And we're going to have them head on. I'm going to pack my bags and head out to Salt Lake City by using Expedia.com.
Excellent. Well, John, thank you very much. Have a good trip.
You got it. Thanks.
Okay. Now, we've been in the realm of reality for quite some time now.
Yeah.
But I think it's about time that we have some fun. When in Rome and when in GameWorks, it's time to play some games. So let's take a look at what kind of games Microsoft has to offer this holiday.
Yeah, what's Microsoft got to offer?
Keep your eye on the ball. We're taking the field with Microsoft
Looks
Baseball
great.
3D, the only baseball game designed from the ground up for 3D accelerator technology. All the major league teams and players, all the fields. Microsoft Baseball 3D. Based on the historical Operation Market Garden, in Microsoft Close Combat, A Bridge Too Far, you control either the German or Allied powers.
Hey, I only want to control one side of that, thank you.
It's up to you to take command of men who think and act like real soldiers.
I can't take it!
And this time, we've added even more realism, like elevation effects in buildings and terrain, true line of sight and line of fire. It's real-time, true-to-life, epic World War II action in Microsoft Close Combat, A Bridge Too Far. Adventures Calling on Chaos Island. A real-time action strategy game based on the movie The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Oh!
Take a deep breath and get ready, because evil hunters are trying to take over the Lost World. Your job? Try and stop it before time runs out on this tropical island packed with prehistoric perils. Choose your team of scientists, hatch eggs, and build an army of dinosaurs to help fight your way through 12 highly challenging missions.
Fascinating. I've never heard of this
Move
one.
even faster. Watch your back, because if you're not quick, you're dinner. And if you're good enough and luck is with you, you just might save the world.
Cool.
On Chaos
Cool.
Island, The Lost World Jurassic Park.
An RTS for babies, okay.
Beware. There's a monstrous action game out there just waiting to get you. It's Goosebumps, Attack of the Mutant, a non-stop 3D action game from DreamWorks Interactive. Based on one of R.L. Stein's best-selling books.
We're here to stop the mutants.
We've played
We sure
this.
could use your
Although
help.
I bet I can run it
Yourself
better
in the
now if
comic
I
book
tried
world of an
again.
evil masked mutant and his
Since last time I
diabolical
ran it, it was a little stuttery.
It'll take all the skill, strategy, and problem-solving you've got.
An unknown intruder from the outside world has slipped inside our headquarters, and he or she has to be apprehended at once.
Nobody thrills you like Goosebumps. Play, if you dare.
And the sooner we get started, the sooner the world will be mine!
Based on the comic strip by
Hey,
Scott
everybody!
Adams, DreamWorks Interactive presents Dilbert's Desktop Games. Because who knows more about slacking off than Dilbert? 10 highly entertaining diversions to spice up your workday, like Techno Raiders, where the object is to climb the corporate ladder, collecting all the donuts before you lose all your gadgets.
Looking good.
Project Pass Off is your chance to slough off the bad projects and get that monkey off your back.
He's using his tail. He has a natural advantage.
And just for fun, Elbonian Airlines sends manager types flying from a giant slingshot. And if you think that offers a modicum of amusement, wait till you turn on the Jargonator. It turns a perfectly good sentence into manager speak. Dilbertize your desktop and be the envy of cubicle dwellers everywhere with Dilbert's desktop.
Dilbertize your desktop.
I have to admit, Dilbert is definitely one of my favorite games I've ever played. I highly recommend Elbonian Airlines. It's really fun. You can never mind. Anyway, so we took a flight before. Traveled on Expedia. We planned our ticket to go to New York. Now, it's one thing to have somebody else fly the plane. It's another thing, and far more fun.
Yeah, I've seen the Lockheed Martin
I'd like to
Dilbert
introduce my
ethics
friend,
game.
Co-gamer, no way, Jose Pinero, who's going to share with us Flight Simulator, Age of Empires, and another game to be named later.
Susie, thanks for the introduction. You know what? I always wanted to do the following. My name is Jose Pinero. You kill my father, prepare to die. Hey, I always wanted to do that, and now I got the opportunity. I am here, and I'm extremely excited because I want to show you some of the best and coolest games that are coming for this holiday
Okay,
season.
what's the
Let me
newest
start
and
with the first
coolest?
one. The first game we have is Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's one
Okay,
of the
that's
best-selling
cool game.
entertainment titles ever, and the new version, Flight Simulator 98, just came out a few weeks ago, and it has gone all the way to the number
I like the
one
people in the
spot
background
charts.
being like, "Oh, it's your filming."
As one of the best-selling games ever, it has a lot of legacy.
Got a real
but
dad
this new
jacket on,
version, Flight
too.
Sim 98, has a lot of new
That's
things.
someone's
Let me
dad.
just show you the first one.
Okay.
Let me just start by showing you like a new surprise here in Flight Simulator 98. For the first time ever, we have a brand new helicopter. It's a Bell 206 helicopter. And you know what? We put this helicopter in here because our users have been asking for a helicopter forever, for a long time. A lot of people already know how to fly a Cessna or a Learjet, but flying a helicopter is a totally new challenge.
I don't know how to
I'm showing you
fly
right now
a
the virtual
Learjet.
cockpit inside the
Okay.
helicopter. This looks fantastic.
Where are you there, Jose?
I am flying here over Washington State right now. So we have a helicopter.
I do
and
not
only
know
we
how
have
to
a
fly a
helicopter, but
Learjet.
We also have some of the widest range of aircraft of any flight simulation product. Let me just show you another one of our new planes.
Okay.
I'm going to be showing you here the Learjet 45. Actually, this is the plane that I wish I could buy for my dad, but you know it's about $10 million.
I've actually
I
have a secret. I've never played Microsoft Flight Simulator
98.
because it always looked too
First thing I want you to
complicated
see
for
here
me,
is
and I was
just
like, no,
look at the
thank
quality
you.
of the scenery.
That is so gorgeous.
A lot of it just looks like when you look out the window from a
Wow.
commercial jet. Another thing I want to mention about this brand new Learjet is that the Learjet company
You Dirk
helped us,
Kirkington
design
for the
this
follow.
plane right here in the product. And they wanted us to create the most realistic flight simulation model for the PC.
Right.
So their test pilots and flight engineers, they tested and validated this Learjet here on this product.
Wow.
So they gave us their stamp of approval, so that means that it's the most realistic flight simulator.
Yeah,
out there.
I have the
And
feeling
you know
that
the
I would
thing,
also
if you buy
never
today a
learn
Learjet
how to take
45,
off
you
if
can
I
get
played it.
But the Learjet company will give you a copy of Flight Simulator 98 so you can practice in the meantime.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're giving them copies of Flight Sim, I think they need to give you and your dad a Learjet themselves.
I agree with you. I think I deserve a Learjet 45. You know, this Flight Simulator 98 has a lot of new technology. It has multiplayer over the internet, which is something that is fantastic. So now for the first time ever, you can
But
say,
why
hey,
would you want
Susan, you can
multiplayer
ask 10
Flight
of your
Sim?
friends to fly with you, and
Yeah?
you can say, hey, let's meet at the Eiffel Tower at 3 p.m. And you can be flying right there, and at the same time, you can see the other 7 planes coming to you. And if you're not careful,
But
you
do
can
you
even
have
crash into
someone
them.
being the air traffic controller so you don't
So you have
crash?
to be extremely
Point of the
careful.
game, isn't it?
Exactly. Also, one of the things about this new version is that it supports multiplayer over the internet. So now, like, you can go to the www.zone.com. It's an internet gaming zone, and you can find people to fly there, and it's completely free matchmaking. Once you have
Very
the
cool.
product, you can just go there.
Wonderful.
Another new technology that I want to show to you is force feedback joystick.
Okay.
Have you seen this joystick before?
I've seen it when it was in development.
Well, actually, this is the Microsoft Sidewinder Force Feedback Pro.
Okay.
And it's a
Okay,
force
okay, I
feedback
guess it
joystick.
does
That
make
means
sense.
that
If it's
it reacts to what
once you
you're
mentioned
doing.
World of
Right
Trucks,
now,
it started to make sense for me.
You're going to take
Okay,
off
then
in
you
this
have
plane.
virtual air traffic
Please,
control.
just
Okay,
wait for the
I'm
airspeed
in.
indicator
I'm
when
in.
it gets
I
to
just
reach
needed to
260.
know that they were
Pull
doing
back
their
gently.
their
But
virtual
at the same
safety
time, you're
checks,
feeling
and
the
I'm like, I'm in. I'm
the
in.
wheels on the road.
I'm going to start taking off now. I'm going to start taking off. Now, I have to tell you, I've never successfully taken off with Flight Simulator.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Whoa, whoa.
Let me move you to outside the
Oh,
plane so you can see
no.
yourself.
An out-of-body experience.
There you are. You just took off. And you know what? It's so realistic that if the right wheel touches the ground before the left, you will feel that in the
Woo!
joystick.
I'm going to tip my wing at you, Chicago. Hello.
Well, I'm going to stop you before you crash.
That's how I play games, ma'am.
So,
Don't.
Another
Love the
thing
confidence.
that I want, I have plenty of confidence in you. Flight Simulator is the only product where you can fly anywhere you want in the world. We have more than 3,000 airports and more than 45 cities.
That is awesome. So you don't have to buy an extra game pack for London or an
No.
extra game pack for Italy or anything like that.
No, actually,
Fucking telling off a
Since this
truck
is an extreme event, I
simulator
will do something really
from the
dramatic.
past.
So I'm going to try to fly right through the middle of the London Tower.
I still need to.
I hope you have pontoons on
I
this
still
one.
need to
This is
buy
the
more
sequence,
states
right?
for
Actually,
Truck
this is
Sim.
Cessna. The
I
last
do
time
want to
I
start
tried this,
streaming
I
Truck
crashed
Sim
and I
again,
killed
but
myself. So-
I'm not sure if there's more of an audience for that or multimedia. There you
Well,
go.
as you can see, like you can fly anywhere in the world, and we're giving realism. If you want to fly today to London, and if you want to see like the Eiffel Tower, if you want to see any place, this is the place to go. Just grab a plane, choose the location, and just start flying.
I think I see some oarsmen on the Thames even.
You know what? We have so much detail in this product that we're going to get very close to the Big Ben, and we'll be able to even see the time on the Big Ben. So let's go for that. Here's the Big Ben.
So much
I'm getting
realism
closer.
that you even take as long as it would take in a Cessna to get to Big Ben.
Well, a lot of people fly in real time, and about 25% of our registered users have a real pilot
You're kidding me.
certificate. So on a Saturday, when it's rainy or because the weather don't allow them to fly, the best next thing they can do is get into Flight Simulator. There
All
we
right.
go. Look
All
at the
right.
time. Look at the time.
All right, Dallas, you tell me what time it is.
It looks like
That's
3:30.
not Dallas. That's very clearly not
Flight
Dallas.
Simulator 98. It's out already in the stores, and it's right now the best-selling game
That's
out
what
there.
I've been hearing. I've seen
Let's
a lot
now-
of great reviews on it.
Let's now jump into a different game, and we're changing now to a different genre. Now we're talking about real-time strategy games.
Okay.
Do you have anybody in your
That was
family who's a
not
real history
Dallas.
buff?
Is that a trick question? Do you know my family or something
I
like
don't
that?
know. I don't actually. I don't
I'm
know your
just kidding
family.
you. Yes, we do have history buffs in my family. Folks who really are very into more of the ages of the Egyptians, and then we have the ages
Well,
of.
I have the perfect game for you.
Okay.
It's called Age of Empires, and
Okay.
it's Microsoft's real entry into the real-time strategy genre. And what we're going to show here is the following. It is a game that allows people, either in single player or multiplayer, to be the guiding spirits of a civilization.
Okay.
So, Susan, I want you to guide this tribe all the way from its beginning, all the way up until they become a great civilization. Let me just show how the game starts. First thing is that we have single player and
All right.
multiplayer. So again, you can go to the Internet Gaming Zone at Microsoft.com, and you can find out exactly how you can find somebody else to play in real time.
Okay.
Let me just choose one demo where we're going to have a tribe that it's really in the beginning, they don't have anything, and basically I'm going to just ask them to gather resources and kind
No,
of
I've never
like
played Age of
get enough things
Empires.
so they can
Right.
progress
I
to
like
the next level.
Civilization,
Okay.
but
And
like
the first thing I want to do here is I have 3 tribesmen here.
Yeah?
I'm going to ask this one here to hunt.
yeah, I want to
This
know
goes
more
to
about
hunt
Dallas's
this
Big
person here, I'm
Ben.
going to ask him to chop some wood.
You go chop some wood.
Yeah, and
Instead
this
of Big
person
Ben,
here is
it's
going
Big
to grab
Tex.
some berries. And
Yummy
the idea
berries.
is that as they gather more resources, then they can build bigger houses, bigger structures. They can get more sophisticated,
Okay.
and they can move into the future. One of the great things about this game is that it has been designed by Bruce Shelley.
I like the
who is
loud
the
bowling
co-designer
behind
of
them.
Civilization
Okay.
2, one of the best-selling games ever. And Bruce Shelley has created a game that has a lot of historical flavor, and people right now are just like going crazy about this game.
They're just
Like,
going
the
crazy about Age of
reviews and the
Empires.
reviews we're getting
Honestly,
from
they
the
probably
different
were.
websites right now is just fantastic. Like, this is going to be one of the best-selling games this holiday season.
Now, what I've heard actually about it is that it sort of combines the best of Civ with the best of Warcraft 2.
You're absolutely right. If you like Civilization and you like
Thank
the
you,
empire
M
building
squared,
aspect of it,
135
you
for
love
the
it. If you
follow.
like
We're
Warcraft
watching
and you like
Microsoft
fighting, you love it.
Extreme.
Actually, this game
Learn
is
about
the
Age of
only game
Empires.
where you can win by 3 different types of victory. In most games, you just go into battle and you just
Like we're
kill your
about to
enemy,
do
like
here.
right now. Here you can also accumulate wealth, or you can also go and explore new lands. Right now, like we're just like preparing ourselves for a slugfest.
Yeah, we are.
I'm looking for
I
enemies
think
right
you
now.
need more people in there.
Oh, there's the
look,
enemy.
there's just a couple of enemies.
And this is real time, okay? I want to make sure that I don't get myself killed here.
Let's all gang up on the one horseman. I think that's very
I need more
important.
resources here. Let me move.
Everybody involved in this battle. This is amazing. Now, one of the things that I saw, Jose, is that you went into scenario mode.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to have a lot of control. A lot of the hardcore gamers like to have a lot of control over their games. Is it pretty easy to
That's
create
true
a
about us
scenario like
hardcore
this?
gamers.
It's extremely easy to create scenarios. A lot of people will use the scenario builder here, and in a matter of seconds, they can create their own terrain and their own conditions, so they can create their own battle. Okay, right now I think I'm doing okay.
Is that red your blood or their shirts?
Actually, I'm winning right now, so I'm really happy. As you can see, this game, it's already out in stores, and also if you want, you can go to Microsoft.com/games and find out the trial version, completely free. You can just download it and you can start trying Age of Empires now.
Wow, that is awesome. Thank you very much, Jose,
Thank you for the
showing me
opportunity.
this.
Thanks.
Now, all right, we went through some skills with the flying. We had some strategy with the strategy game. And then we had some blood and guts. That's all well and good. We got a lot of genre of games covered there. But if you're anything like me, and you saw my car earlier, I wish that was my car. You saw the car I was driving before. You know I have a need for speed. And I think you need to see what we have to offer.
Yeah, I wanted to see more about Title Fight. Precision kart racing. You all know this.
We're at Microsoft's motion capture studio to capture the motions for kart precision racing.
Sorry, kart precision racing.
An actor is going to be wired up with 18 sensors, which will be placed in all the important joints of his body. And these sensors capture the position at 140 times per second of each joint of the body that's attached to, and they send.
I love these old motion detectors. That is so clunky.
Where the operator watches the data go onto an actual model.
We've actually gone through to the detail of modeling a Reynard 1997 IndyCar chassis, right down to the exact dimensions.
Various pieces of wood have been placed at the right height, and tires have been put into position.
We've got a real mechanic from the PacWest Racing Group, and he will be going through each of the.
Looks kind of stressed about it. Is he okay?
And doing everything from filling the car up with gas, changing the tires, changing the nose, changing the rear wing, and this will all be worked into.
Good jump. Yeah, fair. He was probably exhausted by the 40 pounds of hardware he was wearing. R.I.P.
Now all the pieces are brought together. The captured motions are attached to test characters, and the entire animation is rendered out in Softimage for its final preview. And watch how each character with its own animation seamlessly interacts with the other characters. This whole suite of motions will end up becoming just part of the pit stop sequence for kart precision racing. It is pretty much the thing going right now. It's a minimum requirement
motion capture
for today's 3D games. You've got to have it.
Welcome back. Now, okay, video schmidio. We want to see kart live. We want to see Jose back here at Master Games Demoer showing us kart. So I'd like to bring back Jose Pinero. Jose?
Hi, Jose.
Jose? Jose, where are you, buddy? Oh, man. Oh, man. You guys are going to love this. Check this out.
The House of the Dead.
Hey!
Hey, Jose!
How are you doing?
I am doing well.
Oh, how are you doing? Thanks.
This kills me. Is this yours?
I wish it was mine. Actually, are we live now?
We are live.
Oh, good. I'm sorry. Okay. So, hey, it's not mine, but you know what? This is the main reason why I did
Hey,
this
Bob,
gig.
we're
I
heading
really
towards
wanted
the
to
end
drive
of
this car. Hey, awesome.
Microsoft Extreme here. You missed
I'll give it to you. The reason why I'm here is because
you missed
I want
Barney.
to share with you one of
You
the
missed
best new
Dilbert.
games that are coming out. It's called Kart Precision Racing, and it's going to be an amazing racing game. And you know what? We think it's going to set the standard by which all other racing games are going to be measured.
There's a lot of racing games out there,
Yeah, but
too.
you know what? We have done 3 things that make this game fantastic.
Okay.
The first thing, and I'm here just playing with the computer, is that we have a more advanced vehicle physics model.
Okay.
Most other cars out there, like when you see a game, the cars don't steer realistically.
Right.
We have something for the first time. The 4 tires are in real contact with the ground.
Suspension.
Independent suspension. You can feel anything on the road. The second thing we have, which is a first, is that for the first time we have created the tracks by using GPS technology, global positioning system.
Yeah, the triangulation of the satellites to determine where you are at any point in time.
I'm very impressed you know this. So that's the second thing. So that gives
Forgot
us
there was a
most
time when people
accurate
didn't know what
tracks
GPS
possible.
was.
If you're at Laguna Seca and there's the corkscrew and the car is going up and down in the elevation changes, you will feel that. And that's an amazing feeling. And
Little
the
do
third
people
thing,
know that there are speed bumps in Unicef.
yeah, and you get a real sense of speed. The third thing is that we have what we call the first time somebody does a true angle of vision, and that is what I'm showing right here. So if I go into the curve, you will see the dashboard moving left and right, just like in real life. If you're driving at 200 miles per hour, that's like 293 feet per
Man,
second.
I would,
That's
yeah, if I had a
25
fancy
per
driving
second,
setup, I would
almost
only use
If
it
you're
for
going into
a
curve,
truck
Your
simulator.
head has to anticipate the curve. If you don't anticipate the curve, you're in an extreme situation. You'll be in real trouble. So for the first time, like, we are recreating that same visual angle of the car. Wow. And you know what? Like, the level of sophistication of this simulation, it's so high that actually real car drivers are going to use this to train during the off season.
So that
Okay, really?
Yep, they want to
Did
memorize
they?
the tracks.
Did they
want
end
to
up
feel
using this game
all
to
the
train?
nuances in the tracks. They can go here and try it.
That is amazing.
And you know what? If you really want to feel like a real IndyCar driver, like I feel right now.
Yeah, if you can't get the suit in the car, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, but you can go today to the Microsoft.com website, go to games, and download the free trial version for Kart Precision Racing. And I'm telling you, it's an amazing racing game. If you try it, you'll love it. You'll fall in love with it.
That is very cool. Well, Jose, thank you very much for sharing your
Thank you for letting me
games with
try
me.
this thing.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Well, you know, we've seen some really amazing extreme stuff over the course of the day. From the games back to Barney and Internet Explorer and amazing stuff like that. The only thing I can think of that would be more extreme than all of that is us answering your questions. So, for all those folks who faxed us
All right, it's a question and answer segment of.
as many as we can, and if we happen to answer,
They
your
made the
question in
Texas
particular,
DLC for
you get a
American
lovely
Truck
copy
Sim. I missed
of
it.
Home Essentials
Well,
98.
shoot, I'm gonna have to buy that.
This is my product. I'm a product
And I'm gonna have to
manager,
do
as I said
wheelies in
before, at
Osaka. I
Microsoft.
want
My
that really
product's Home
bad.
Essentials 98, so I'm gonna give a quick plug because all these guys got to plug their products, darn it. And Home Essentials, Word, Works, Encarta, Money, Greetings Workshop, 2 months internet access, and the entertainment pack, the puzzle collection, all an excellent product. Oh, and now we got everybody assembled for some questions and answers. They have all their questions. Do I have any questions? Are there any questions for me? No
The
questions.
team's here. Look at them all.
Excellent. I love when that happens. Okay, Deb Rappaport, Picture It product manager. What questions do you have?
Hi, I've got a question here from Salt Lake City, Utah. This question is from Michelle Silverman.
Don't you need to say hello to your family there first?
Hello in Salt Lake City.
She does look like Nana Visitor. You're
Picture It offer
right.
digital photo albums so I can keep my digital photos organized like I do my regular prints. And the answer is yes. We can automatically organize and catalog your photos, and then you can search by them for them by keyword or by date.
I'm only laughing because
So
she
that's
talks
one
like
question.
I talk
have
when
one
I
more.
have
Should
to
go
read
ahead
from
and answer
something.
that? All right. One quick second. This question is actually from a teacher in Minneapolis named Becky Perkins. Picture It in front page look easy enough for kids. Can my 8th graders do a virtual yearbook on our school's website with these tools? And the answer is absolutely. Picture It supports 21 different file formats, so you can import and export either JPEG or GIF and post them right to a website using front page.
And
Thanks,
actually,
Susie.
I have a quick question for
Yeah.
you about that as well. You mentioned file formats. One of the coolest things that I've experienced with Picture It is the use of FlashPics. Do you want to just say a word about that?
Sure. What FlashPics does is it makes it really fast and easy for you to edit your photos. But when you go to print them out, you get the highest resolution print possible.
She said
And
GIF
actually, you can
with
try
the
out
J.
Picture It on our website. There's a 30-day free trial version, so check it out.
Very, very cool. Let's move on. Jose, do you have any questions?
Picture It was an early photo editing software.
All right, Robert Bennett, the question is yours.
Susan, yes, I have questions. From Brooklyn, we've got, what security precautions have been taken in IE4? Well, actually, it's a great question. We've done a lot to focus on security in Internet Explorer 4.0. We've got a new feature called Security Zones that allows you to decide which type of content, whether it's ActiveX or Java or Dynamic HTML, you run on the internet or on the intranet, and give the user complete control over what's happening on their PC. As we know, security on the internet is still a big concern for people, and we've responded to that in a number of different ways through Internet Explorer 4. We've got a couple of others here.
Why don't we go with one more and then we'll rotate around.
Okay. What is push technology? Great question, good clarification.
What is push
Just
technology?
simply means that there's all this content on the web in the form of HTML pages. And ordinarily, what you have to do is proactively go out to that site to actually browse to a web page to go get it. What push technology means is that you can choose to have certain pages come to you. So go on a regular basis, maybe every hour, every 2 hours, however often you decide. You
Neopets, come to me!
Get pushed down to your desktop right on your machine so you can work with it without having to go get it.
Now, Rob, who asked that question?
That was from Rick Rubel in Cottage Grove, Minnesota.
Way to go, Minneapolis.
All right.
Okay, next question up for bids. We have John Porcaro with some question.
I have a couple of questions here, mostly about Barney.
Let me get out of the way here.
Let me start with this one from David Savage from Bowling Green. Let's see, from Vienna. Vienna, Virginia. That's near Bethesda.
Maryland.
That's right. What happens if you put Barney in the washing machine?
Not the dryer. Oh.
He swims. No, actually, we did a lot of testing, and Barney's plush fur is actually very washable. We wanted to make sure that that was important. So if kids, I don't know, what do kids do to Barney?
Yak on their
Spit
toys.
up on him, exactly. So that's pretty important anyway. Let's
I
see.
guess Barney can go in the wash.
Will a Bill Gates Actimates be ready for Christmas? Do any of you really want a Bill Gates Actimates? I guess Dan Rhoda does from Woodbury, Minnesota. So Dan.
Okay, and who asked that question?
Dan's
so
a
that
freak.
That was Dan Rhoda.
Dan
so,
Rhoda.
So
All
you
right,
folks,
buddy.
you got to be careful with this guy. He's a little dangerous.
He's a little bit dangerous. Now, again, I put in my request for the Mel Gibson Actimates. If you guys have anything that you wish for, you can actually send it into MS Wish. I believe it's mswish@microsoft.com. If you have a specific wish, if you really want that Bill Gates Actimates doll, you got to ask for it officially.
That's right. We'll pass the mic.
Hey, I have a couple of questions here, and this one was asked by a number of people, Autumn Jordan in Boston and Brian Beaver in San Francisco.
Brian Beaver.
First was, how much HTML do I have to know to use front page, and how easy is it to edit the HTML? And this also includes an additional question about creating their own themes using the with front page. So the first one I'll answer is the HTML question.
Okay.
And whether or not you can easily edit it in front page and how much you need to know. Basically, you don't need to know any HTML. Everything that you saw in the demo earlier was done WYSIWYG style. We create all the HTML for you. It's standard HTML. So you can include dynamic HTML scripting. You can include cascading style sheets and active server pages. We put those all in for you behind the scenes. And then you can browse to those files. It's all HTML, so you can use any browser. As long as that browser supports the feature, like the dynamic HTML feature, for instance, you can easily browse to that real easily with front page. So again, just standard HTML. We also enable
Just standard
yes,
HTML, don't worry about it.
Create your own themes. We have a software developers kit that you can get for download along with our download off of the website.
Oh, that's exciting.
It has a theme designer inside of it, so you can create a theme for any type of corporation or section of your company.
That's awesome.
And then it also ships in the final product that'll be available in stores in a couple weeks. So
that is very exciting.
Yep.
That is very exciting. Okay, we have another question. Deb, do you have any more questions? Deb's got a couple more questions. Let's pass this off. Miss Rappaport.
I have a question here about Greetings Workshop. This was submitted by Helen Richards from Brooklyn, New York. The
Hey,
question
Rachel,
is,
we're
can you create
finishing
anything
up
besides
Microsoft
greeting cards in
Extreme.
Greetings Workshop Deluxe? And the answer is absolutely. You can create banners, you can create signs, certificates, stationery, and the multimedia greetings I showed you earlier, all with the quality of Hallmark and all in Greetings Workshop Deluxe. So it's a very full home desktop publishing solution. Thanks, Susie.
Excellent. Hello, Brooklyn. My sister lives in Brooklyn. Okay, Rob, you got a couple questions here.
A couple more questions. Well, the first is, actually we get asked this all the time. Nobody faxed it in today, which was a miracle, but how much is Internet Explorer? Internet Explorer is free, free like air, free like water, free like other free things. You can download it from the web today at www.microsoft.com/IE. So back to the paper-based questions. Will Microsoft keep including Java in its internet-related products? This is from Placentia, California.
Who asked that? Scott McNeely? No.
No, this is Lissandro Almeida. And this is, obviously, there's a lot of people out there that are confused about what we're doing with Java at Microsoft given recent events. Microsoft is totally committed to providing their users with the best support
I
for
promise
Java
not to do
available.
the Finkel's
And
World
right now, Internet
voice.
Explorer 4 has better Java support than any other browser on the market. In fact, any other
Better
internet
Java
product on the market
support.
with our tools, etc. We're absolutely committed to providing our users with a fully compatible, fully supported version of Java in our products.
Any other questions you got there?
I have one more question. This is from Kirk looks like Kirk Muir at in Carlano, Texas. He says, I use IE4 and I think it's the best browser ever.
We love you.
It says that. I'm not making it up. However, I would like to know when I receive the new MSN CD-ROM, if this will enable me to use Outlook as my email instead of Microsoft Windows messaging. The way that we're doing, the way that MSN is doing their messaging now is a total internet standards-based messaging backend. So you'll use Outlook Express, the mail client that we showed in the demo.
I'm glad
to
you like
access your
the
mail
very
on
sexy
MSN going
Exxon
forward.
Tiger
You'll
guy.
also,
I love him too.
with the next version of Microsoft Outlook, be able to use the full Outlook product as well to access MSN mail.
That's excellent. Okay, let's go back now to Manda.
Manda.
Okay, I have two related questions here. The first is from John Griffin in California, and he wants to know if front page is useful if your ISP, that is Internet Service Provider, does not support the front page server extensions. And the related question is, do you need to use the personal web server in order to host or create a website using front page? And to answer the first question, all the ISPs out there, Internet Service Providers or Web Presence Providers as we tend to call them, are listed up on our website for front page.
Web Presence Provider.
And
They do
you don't need to
not
have the
call them
server
that anymore, I
extensions
don't think.
on the website or on the server in order to create or manage a website using front page. You can use front page to build your entire website and then post it up to an Internet Service Provider that doesn't have the server extensions at all. But what you also have is you have the ability with the server extensions to then remotely and collaboratively author
I like
and
the
edit
truck
your
that's just
website
there.
on the server where it resides. So the
Do you
server
do you
extensions are
think
really
that was
frosting on the
originally
top of the cake.
in
They give you a lot of
the
extra functionality
GameWorks,
that you
or do you
wouldn't
think they
necessarily
had
have without
to?
them.
Wait,
And
wait,
in
no, I'm
regards to
looking at the thing on the
personal
wall.
web
Okay,
server,
so
you
the
can
truck
use
is just
personal
part
web
of the
server.
wall.
It's there
Okay,
for
that's
your
cool.
own personal use as a staging server. You can use any other types of server. We have server extensions that support Internet IIS, Netscape servers, NT servers, all different flavors of Unix servers, and you can just check with the Internet Service Provider that you're using. And again, the whole list is up there on our website at Microsoft.com/frontpage.
Do you have any other questions here, Amanda? Or are you all questioned out?
I'm all questioned out.
Excellent. All right, Dave?
Yeah, I think you can, Susie, you may be able to answer this question with your experience in natural language. So why don't you give this one a try? This one's from Anthony Steiber in Eden Prairie, Minnesota.
Mhm.
What future developments in intelligent agents can be expected from Microsoft?
Other than the product managers themselves. Sorry, I had to. Bad joke, master. That's me.
I welcome
as far as
this.
the
We're
intelligent-
finishing up Microsoft Extreme. We only got like 5-6 minutes left on this thing, I think.
being done. You'll see
Welcome.
some of it on various websites with the Genie as a good representative. But as far as integration with various products, I think you'll be seeing that in the future, and we're definitely exploring that and investigating it. And our natural language group is really an amazing example, again, of how we've integrated some of the research and development of natural language so that you can just enter in a very sensical sentence and get a very direct response. But as far as additional support,
I guess
and
that's what the
additional growth of
new
agents, it'll be there. I just can't really
Copilot
describe
is.
how and what yet.
But instead of being a cool rat,
Do you have any
it's
other
like
questions? John, you have another question? Excellent.
it's
Couple of last
AI.
questions
This
here.
is
One more
recorded
on Bonnie.
at
This is from
Seattle's
Pam
GameWorks.
Ashcroft from she's in St. Louis, Missouri right now. How y'all doing out there? We have a 2-year-old granddaughter, Danielle, who would love to get Barney for Christmas, and who wouldn't? Where can we buy Barney? How much does he cost? And how much are the computer games? Well, Barney itself is about $100. So when you buy the standalone toy, it is about $100 to buy that. The standalone, the computer games and the VCR pack are sold separately. The VCR pack is about $50.
The VCR pack is sold separately.
As well, you can still access that free content that comes down from the PBS show every day. So you're able to do that for about $50. For another $50, you can get the CD pack or the CD-ROM PC pack. It comes with the game, and it's also about $50. We also have 3 standalone games that you can get for Barney that are about $30 each. So,
Okay.
and where can you buy these things? They're available at most computer stores. Also, a friend of mine, Michelle and Steve, were out shopping over the weekend, and they told me that they saw it at Toys R Us. And I know Toys R Us has a bunch of them, so you'll be able to find those. Let's see. The last question actually was about Expedia. Suzanne Jacobson in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, how you doing out there? It's my hometown. Thank
Salt
you.
Lake.
I'm booking a flight to Indianapolis to see my brother Jim. Will Expedia.com let me get frequent flyer points? And the answer to that is absolutely yes as well. We said that it would do everything a travel agent could do for you. That includes booking your meals, if you have special dietary restrictions, if you need special kind of help on the plane. All of that is available with Expedia. So everything you can do with a regular travel agent, you should be able to do with Expedia.com. It's a great service.
Hey, all right. Well, let's all use Expedia.
What fantastic questions. Wow, those were awesome. Thank you very much. We are very excited to have spent the last hour and a half with you all. And without further ado, I'd like to thank our presenters and turn it over now to our studio hosts because I'm going to borrow Jose's car. Excuse me. You're out of there, buddy.
All right, and that was Microsoft Extreme Volume 1. I hope you are now all educated on upcoming Microsoft products like Sidewalk and Picture It and the Genie Agent and Title Fight and that kid's cool Taz shirt, which I love. Yeah, there are 5 of these. I probably will not be showing more of these because I do not think they are as extreme as this one. But yeah, I figured this one would be interesting to show off. There's more of these on archive. Let me put the link in the chat to this. Here is the original upload, and I have a playlist. Let me just get it real quick of every single video I've shown on this and on Retro Palace from archives. Let me just show you that. Pretty extreme, I gotta say. Extreme users, that was me. I was very extreme. I liked that old roller coaster. Looked like an arrow corkscrew? I don't know. And yeah. That was Microsoft Extreme Volume 1 and Interactive Entertainment, page 1 of the reviews. There's so many reviews. So I'm going to be streaming, not next Tuesday, but I think not this Thursday, but the Thursday after next. And I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be showing. I need to check my, I actually wrote a big schedule of what I was going to show off. Actually, I know exactly what I'm going to be showing. I am going to be doing a deep dive through Cinemania and maybe showing off more of the Interactive Entertainment 01 just so we can finish that off. But I definitely want to go through Cinemania, and I want to do some more of the tours that were in Cinemania. So follow me if you'd like to find out when I go live next and all that good stuff. And yeah, so join me not this Thursday, but the Thursday after next for more. And yeah, thank you all so much for showing up. Thank you so much for subbing and following all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Let me see who we can raid here. Who is streaming? Let's raid. Oh, my voice is cracking up here. You know what? I didn't get to raid Cactus Bee last time, so let's try this time. Find the raid. Go to, oh, it's gone. Where is it? There we go. And we are raiding. Our raid message is extreme. And yeah, I'll see y'all Thursday after next. Have a great week.